go, bub. Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut!
Nothing moves the blob!
Let's go, bub.
You might have to drop out, drop back in, right? Seconds.
Should I try that?
Very 90s kind of
Buffering?
Yeah,
keeping authentic.
there you go.
All right, there we go. And killing the music. Microphones are up. And we are ready to rock.
Jerome, not to speak too soon. I'm going to try dropping out and coming back and see if that helps.
Okay. Have you, I hate to ask this, but do you turn off your computer and turn it back on, or are you like the type to sleep it often?
But it was fine yesterday, so I don't know. And I haven't used it all day, so.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, because that will make a difference with Windows 10 if you sleep it. I've had really weird stuff happen and try to stream, and it won't do certain things, or I'll have to find other ways to do it. So
certain updates won't update when you turn off your computer either. You have to actually restart it too. Sometimes that works with my work laptop sometimes too. When it's not working right, if I restart it, then it comes back on full force.
Okay.
We'll just play that Lightbringer's on dial up.
I'll be right
I know,
back.
right?
okay. Well, we'll do.
I mean, it is the 90s.
Yeah.
We'll get the soundtrack of.
Oh God, no.
I know.
We'll
Bring
just
back
instead of
horrible
seeing
memories.
Brittany, we'll put like a Net Zero banner up on her side.
An
No,
AOL.
we got to do AOL. If we're gonna do this, we got to do it right.
Oh no, you want to go with quote unquote free internet, not AOL.
True.
You want all the slowness of AOL with all the banner ads of Net Zero. Oh, there we go. Much better.
You move.
That did it.
Your hair moves too.
All right.
Yep, we're
It
working
renders
with
well.
16-bit now. 16-bit Brit.
16-bit Brit. That's the new name.
That's 8-bit.
She's like, blang, blang.
Now I'm getting flashbacks from last night.
Okay.
Yeah,
No kidding.
true. Good point. And just to answer your question, Davy Jones, actually what I did for everybody is it was random roll, but there was some selection with it. So that way it wasn't, some character that didn't make, any sense whatsoever. They got 3 types of choices for their character origin for the character, and then they had some options when they randomly rolled a power to take powers that were associated with it as well. So that way, if they wound up rolling a random power that they really liked, they could build off of that one with suggested powers from the Ultimate Powers Guide.
Which is why I'm a souped up Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I mostly went. I'm almost straight random, so that I do have some like talents that are kind of weird and have.
Yeah. But I mean, really, when your character was generated, like I said, you came out very Martian Manhunter-ish.
Yeah, actually.
With the exception of shape changing. Yep.
I mean, I don't know him super well, so
Super strength, endurance, flight, which you don't have flight.
I don't have any of those things.
No, but you're very intelligent. You're also very intelligent. You also have. He has psychic abilities, which you have illusionary sort of thing. So,
Who's this we're talking about?
Martian Manhunter.
John Jones.
John Jones. So,
And if I didn't go with Nightcrawler, it would have been definitely Green Lantern. And yes, I know that character's from DC, but
yes. Okay, so as I warned you guys ahead of time, I have this is going to not only act as a recap for everybody, but it's also going to work as a primer for where we're at, because it sets it a day in the future from where we last left off. So, and I actually wrote this, so please, bear with me. I'm not an actual newscaster, but I will do my darndest. So it is the second day of the South American conflict, and the ferocity of the fighting has steadily increased with no end in sight. We're reporting to you from the port city of Montevideo, Uruguay, with a front seat for this symphony of destruction. 4 days ago, the relatively quiet section of South America was stunned and terrified as the new Prussian supercarrier and one of their destroyers appeared in the waters just south of Buenos Aires on a mission of liberation and freedom, according to the statements given by President Albrecht. However, according to President Carlos Menem, this attack was unprovoked, and their presence threatens the whole region. A point that Uruguay and Brazil seem to share as they respond to President Menem's call for aid, joining the conflict as co-belligerents. We are unclear what led to the events, we're unclear of what events led to the war before us, or in what order they happened, but this is what we have gleaned so far. The new Prussian naval vessels appeared in the bay in an instant, believed to be some form of teleportation, while we have seen President Albrecht, then known as Reichshield, and a few of his deviant soldiers teleport in and out of areas. We have not seen anything of this magnitude until now. This display of rapid deployment no doubt has nations around the world both awestruck and terrified at the potential applications. Just prior to the new Prussian Navy appearing, the prevailing rumors I am hearing is that communications with Buenos Aires and later Argentina were cut. There is also now a type of translucent, partially green aurora borealis effect in the skies above Argentina. We have no word how or why that is happening, or if it is tied to the communications blackout. New Prussia's claim is that Argentina has become a haven for deviant abuse and slave trade. In their even wilder claim is that Argentina is being supported by former Nazis who have rebuilt the organization in secret while their agents infiltrated the highest ranks of the government. While this sounds outlandish on its face, it is a widely known fact that many Nazis fleeing the regime's fall at the end of World War II fled to the South American countries, Argentina being the destination for the bulk of them. And interestingly enough, President Carlos Menem pardoned most military officers who still faced prosecution for violations of human rights in the 1970s from the coup d'etat, which saw a military junta installed with Lieutenant General Jorge Videla, Admiral Emilio Massera, and Brigadier General Orlando Ramon Agosti as their leaders. Given Argentina's difficult past, these accusations aren't as far-fetched as initially sounded. According to Amnesty International, Argentina has become more anti-deviant in the news and the media, a position often reflected in their government as of late as well. Unconfirmed reports of harassment against deviant citizens and even the people going missing are all charges that Amnesty International has shared with the press recently. And as the news reporter gets to that point, there is a loud, thunderous explosion that can be heard through the mic with a following shockwave that hits him as well as others in the area, like a gust of wind. Oh my God! Looking out over the horizon, we can see two massive explosions coming from the other side of Montevideo. Do we have any reports? Any witnesses? I'm hearing reports from local police and the reporters saying that they thought they saw something streaking through the sky moments before the explosion. Was Uruguay struck by something directly nuclear? And he's like looking around and confused, clearly, anxious. Then he ends up taking a deep breath and turns back to the camera. As you can tell, the situation remains fluid, and for our safety, we are being moved to an undisclosed location until we broadcast again. This is ZNN war correspondent Misha O'Toole signing off.
Dang it, Angler, you got to work on your landings better.
Yeah, and FYI, Brittany, you're doing the max headroom again. You may need to go ahead and reboot and come back in.
I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but I guess I can try.
It's appropriate for this time frame.
Let's just go ahead and give it a shot.
We need to do XP.
Isn't that right? Matt.
So while we're doing that, and we haven't done it yet, it is time for karma for the month. We don't have any. Pardon me. We don't have any birthdays this month. I do believe, correct?
The world. It's a new year.
Nope. Okay, so somebody want to give it a roll?
I rolled last month.
I can roll.
Yeah, I don't have my dice out.
We do percentile, right? On
Your
this one?
percentile. Yeah. So 1d10 times 50.
80.
I rolled a 3. Then let's see here.
So 3 times 50.
This is 150.
150. Grats.
Guess how much I'm banking?
150.
150.
We'll go ahead and get to the karma awards and everything. You know what? In fact, for rescuing the people from that shop, I should say from the, well, let's just go ahead and call it a shop and leave it at that. And getting them to the LZ for extraction. We'll go ahead and give you an additional 200 karma for that. And while we're waiting for Brittany to come back in, the scene we're starting right now is, and I don't know if you guys want to pull up a map of Argentina right around Buenos Aires. Remember, Justin, that's not Huggy Jesus.
That is in Brazil. We are not in Brazil.
There you go, my man. Finally catching on.
200 more going into bank.
Okay. So the LZ in question that you guys are actually at is at the Estadio Alfredo Ramos, or essentially the Alfredo Ramos Stadium. It's actually a large soccer field with like three adjoining soccer fields next to it. Which, if you need it, I can give you the spelling of the name in the Discord chat.
So, just to confirm this, Freddy is all healed up, right?
Since it's been a day, yes.
Okay. I thought I got healed up after all the miracle juice, the science juice.
Where's those arenas at? I know it's in Buenos Aires, but what is the smaller town or principality or whatever it's called?
Oh, it's in Buenos Aires. So if you just look up Buenos Aires, it will actually come up.
Yeah.
But I mean, where are we
at?
at?
And you came right back.
Like,
cool. I didn't have to re-add you, Brittany. Cool. Awesome.
No, I mean, like, where
How this works.
because I'm looking at the Buenos, like this is the city proper, and then there's like all kinds of like neighborhood names. Or is it close to the coast or what?
So I just put in the name and in Google, and it came right up.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even need to put Buenos Aires in there.
Oh, and what's it called again? And then
the name is actually in the Discord chat, so you can just copy and paste that in there.
Discord, there it is.
Oh, you know what, Jerome?
Ah,
I wonder if it has to do with using that zoom feature.
Aha.
I don't know. It's the only thing that was different. Yeah.
Let me switch the other one and see if that works better.
Okay.
All right. The Estadio Alfredo Ramos.
So basically, what they have done there is they have taken vehicles from the area and used them as physical boundaries to block it off around the street, as well as around the property itself. It's not like solid, like, you know, you could probably drive a car through it at high speeds if you absolutely had to. So it's nothing like they don't have a military cordon on the area. They're just protecting it with what forces that they have on the ground, and the fields are operating as. Hold on a second. There we go. Get that out of the way. The fields are operating. The fields are acting as landing areas for the VTOL aircraft to drop down in, pick people up, and get them out. So that is where you are at currently. We're just waiting for Brittany to come back in a second. I think she's switching to a different program. Yeah, she is. Cool.
Let's see if this works for longer.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if it, if it ends up just being a little bit of a lag, but this works out better, then we'll just do this. Make it work one way or the other. So cool. All right. So at this point, it is the middle of the day. You have seen the aircraft flying over. The one thing that I will say is that that you have been able to determine is that despite the sheer amount of aircraft that are flying around, like at any given time, you will see dogfights going on all over the place. It's easy to say that there is in excess of over 100 aircraft flying around in this area, just shooting, shooting at each other, occasionally peppering the ground with something, because Brazil and Argentina have are attempting to flex their muscle with their air force. And are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at that they've got. As of that news report that hit, you don't have nobody's reported anything to you. Obviously, you don't have a TV up or anything. But Cynet, you did hear the indication that the OSS was operational. Mjolnir was angry, and Mjolnir 1 and 2 have. Mjolnir 1 and 2 have struck.
And what does that mean for us, for Mjolnir, the other two teams?
Right now, nothing. Since you guys have been broken up, you guys are Jackhammer Alpha.
Right.
The other team is Jackhammer Bravo. And right now, you have obviously dropped off people, and you're just waiting for the people that are getting loaded to basically get away. What they have is they have temporary shelters set up in the area, which is completely catch as catch can. They've got tents pulled from inside the office area of this stadium that were probably used for vending and whatnot. They're just using it to keep the elements off of people and stashing them in there for the time being, because of the fighting that's been going on. But you can hear it at any point, day and night, since the fighting has started. It hasn't stopped. There's gunfire from around the town. There's been explosions. The one thing that you guys have heard while you're waiting for your people to be airlifted out is that the although the media hasn't been able to report on it, 'cause there's really no media in Argentina proper. All of them, if they're either like in Chile or Uruguay or someplace close, but not actually in the direct combat zone. But there are indications that the New Prussian aircraft are having trouble striking at the ground forces, because what the Argentine ground forces are doing is they're embedding themselves in neighborhoods to strike back, making it very difficult for the aircraft to to get in close and strike at them without taking civilian lives.
Yeah.
Hate when they do that.
I know it's
If I recall correctly,
problem
we were
Lightbringer
going to
runs
save
into all the
civilians.
time, right?
Right?
What's that?
Like, it's been a bit, so my brain is all fuzzy. We were going to save civilians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
did save some civilians.
Yes, the landing
But now
zone
this
you're
is-
at
yeah.
right now is where other teams are also. Well, I shouldn't say teams. Like, the three main landing zones that were set up were essentially set up so if you were in the city and needed to get out, you could try and get to one of these landing zones to get out. Now, some of the teams that operational teams that are on the ground are also using those landing zones to get high value targets out as well. Like, for example, you knew there were deviants that were, in trouble and managed to bring them here. So while we are currently waiting for any particular orders or commands coming in, is the team doing anything as of this point?
Resting and eating out of the MRE.
And if I remember correctly, Reichschild had lent me a uniform, right?
Yes.
So that way I can at least be identified as our side.
Correct.
Easily. And then, and you, I don't remember if you said, did it have the same, is it good versus, what's that?
Like, did it act like armor?
It's EX20 versus physical heat and cold. That's right.
Yep.
I've got it noted here. Okay. But ours is just good versus physical energy, heat and cold. Okay.
Yes.
Are we in a location at this drop-off site or landing zone where, like, if I were to talk to the team, would others easily hear, or would there be like a spot?
No, that's a good point. No, there's a lot of active ambient sound going on right now as people are getting craft ready, or they're flying out or coming in or whatnot. Plus there's still fighting going on in the background. Okay. So all you'd have to do is take 10 yards stepping off from where maybe the command center is at or something, out in the field, and you're fine.
Okay. Then while others are eating or what have you, I go up to Shone. And Hyperion's like, Shone, if I could have a word with you for a moment.
Okay.
So he takes her to... So it takes her off like a few yards, where it's harder for
sure
anybody here. And he turns to her and goes, I need an explanation as to what happened at the site we were at when we saved the civilians. When I came out back, there were multiple individuals who you had apparently shocked with your power. Is that correct so far?
Yes. I guess I had more than I had anticipated.
Then I need to know if you are having difficulty with determining how much force to use when we're dealing with human assailants. Clearly, not all of them are going to have the resilience to withstand such an attack.
Honestly, I don't know, because I'm still learning about my own powers. Yeah, that was just unfortunate.
Very well. In that case, I need you to withhold using your electrical projection powers when dealing with assailants. Instead, I suggest using simple hand-to-hand compatibilities. You seem to be extremely adept and dexterous. I would think that your capabilities would be more than a match for most, even without using a power.
Maybe. I've never been in an actual fight.
Be that as it may, I need you to do your best while we're here. Clearly, time is of the essence. It's unfortunately not on our side. I need you to learn rapidly. Otherwise, continuing to use your powers as you have is beginning to be reckless. And we will need to then spend significant time and effort trying to save those that are nearly killed. I don't mean to harp, but I find this to be important. Does this make sense to you?
In a way, yes. I mean, part of me, they were the bad guys, and I was eliminating the threat.
Can I tell you a story?
Okay.
Shortly after I extricated myself from the DARPA facility when I first came online, I needed to understand how to interface with human society. I had virtually no experience at that point, and therefore I began reconnaissance, viewing others, and understanding how they would interact. This took time, but it allowed me to understand certain things. And one event that happened allowed me to understand a certain type of value. At one point, I had seen two individuals assaulting a woman in an alleyway. It was clear that they were going to harm her. Fortunately, I was close by. I managed to get to the scene before they were able to do any significant damage. I told them to stop, but they attacked me. As you might guess, I was able to disable them. But in doing so, you could say that it was more brutal than necessary. And this was based on what I had seen in popular culture at the time. Many human beings believe that it's okay to use this power against others to stop them, or even to kill them. I was using this rationale, but I didn't end their lives. Bones were broken. Serious injuries were caused. And as they were on the ground, injured, wheezing, I stepped towards the woman on the ground and held out my hand. But when I stepped closer to her, she screamed and begged me not to hurt her. Even though I had saved her, she saw what I had done as being perhaps too brutal. At that moment, I understood something that I didn't before. Having an incredible degree of power, magnitudes beyond those that we try to protect, is terrifying to them. And rightly so, because in what way would they be able to successfully defend against themselves? When they are fighting each other with their weapons, their hands, their fists, what have you, they are on even ground. But we are clearly not. And even though we might try to use our abilities to stop those that would do harm, if we do so in such a brutal fashion, it negates our purpose entirely. Because instead of saviors, we will be considered monsters. I understand Heliopolins were gods and worshipped as such. And I would think that perhaps, well, I won't make assumptions. But let me ask you, does my story make sense to you? Why I would hold such high regard for human life, especially with regard to how powerful we are?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Excellent. Does it make sense then why I would want none of us here to murder anyone, even if they themselves were murderers?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And right
Now
at
then.
that point, you start to hear something breaking the sound barrier multiple times.
I look in the
It
direction of
starts
Steve.
off. It starts off a little faint, but it's like do 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 do, like, and it's almost rapid fire. And as you start to look, you can actually see the. In a way, it looks kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender when Sparky McBoom was doing his mental things, it would go and explode, towards something. You see kind of like that effect coming down from the sky. And the next thing you see and you feel is the ground almost jump like a brief earthquake as something hits the ground not terribly far from where you're at. And you just see like dirt coming up. And then a moment later, the shockwave finally hits, where you're at. Everybody, on the ground at with the exception of the citizens, they're terrified. They have no idea what happened. The New Prussian forces are cheering loudly, like, yeah!
What was that?
Fordham! Ha ha!
Did you say boredom?
So you just ask randomly when the noise is settling down? Because it was really loud. So the random soldier that, like a comms officer, who was there, he's like, no, we Thored them. THORED, Thor.
What is that? What does that mean?
And he says, that's the OSS, baby. Laying down the law. And you can just see like the rippling effect of dirt and stuff going up, into the sky and making all kinds of noise.
Oh.
Do I know what OSS stands for?
No.
Aperion,
No.
do you know what that was?
Seems to be an advanced weapons attack. Kinetic impactor of
Since
some
you
sort.
just got asked and you're trying to figure it out, why don't you give me a reasons check?
Sure.
With your hyper, and you can actually add you have hyper invention, right? You can actually add your hyper invention to this.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, my hyper invention is incredible, and my reasoning is amazing.
So that's going to make your roll at an MN75.
Okay.
Hori Mori.
All right. 86, which is red result.
So you heard the news report, or kind of the scuttlebutt, the going around. That was as near as you can tell, and the fact that was rapidly breaking the sound barrier. That was an orbital strike.
Yeah. Okay.
And
would I be able to tell
what just hit? Basically, your mind immediately started going, extrapolating like what it would take to do that.
Yeah.
There was, it was mostly science fiction, but there was a belief around the Star Wars era of defense, to try and stop in essence tactical nukes and whatnot, to utilize strikes from orbit. Non-nuke strikes from orbit to neutralize locations and whatnot. So basically, whatever happened broke the sound barrier at Mach 10 and struck the ground.
Whoa.
Is this like? Have you heard of the rods from God or rod from God type of
There
thing?
you go. That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Okay.
Is warped, or is that like, is Mach? What's warp 1 considered?
Is
that like
one is like multiple times light speed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's multiple times light speed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I couldn't remember if it was a Mach multiple or. Well, I guess technically it is, but yeah.
So then after she asks, I go, an orbital kinetic impactor. The amount of mass plus the amount of kinetic energy delivered on impact causes as much as an incredibly large explosion, a non-nuclear deterrent.
Is that effectively? Are we back together then? No.
He's actually still off to the side. I would imagine you guys probably got back together when you felt that impact hit. Everybody started cheering. And speaking of which, food is being provided by the vending machines of this fine establishment, which have all been raided and brought, to one area for anybody who might need, snacks or whatnot.
Visions of the Office fire drill with Kevin kicking in the vending machine.
Military guy.
Yeah.
Always at least one MRE.
You're right. Yeah.
And he's sitting there, unless it's like striking the shield, he doesn't stop eating. He just keeps eating his food.
Sure.
Wow. Is this effectively almost like a high density meteor hitting
In a sense, yes.
that doesn't have the opportunity to burn up upon entry of the atmosphere?
Correct. They use a dense enough alloy and shape it such that the aerodynamics will allow it to maintain its mass by the time it reaches the Earth's surface, causing massive amounts of damage due to the speed and density of the object when it hits.
But how many civilians did it take out as well?
That would be hard to tell. They shouldn't be attacking civilian targets. I look around to see if there are any other like officers or anybody who might be more in the know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I call
likely a comms officer, because they're the ones, from what you can tell, are the ones that report in through SciNet and have been coordinating efforts, strike efforts and relief efforts to get people out and or move people around.
Gotcha. So I go up to one of them and say, "That recent impact, what was the target? It was rather close."
He says, "Yeah, there's an airport just west of us, a couple miles. Looks like apparently the military were probably using it to launch their fighters. We're in denial efforts right now."
Understood.
I have an answer. It is Mach 904,897.24
For light speed?
That's warp
for
one.
warp 1.
Okay, warp 1, yeah.
Insanely fast.
Okay.
Duly noted.
I had to look up a couple of sources, but I couldn't help myself. Y'all got me thinking.
Yeah.
So over 900,000 Mach.
Nice.
900,000.
That's why you don't bother using Mach at that speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's warp 1.
So it's only military that was taken out, no civilians?
To the best of our knowledge, yes. They converted that airstrip for their fighter support.
Duly noted.
Oh, Brittany, just so you know, because you missed out, 350 total karma.
Oh, I did miss out.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
just looked down at my character sheet and
And he said, he says, "Well, since I've got your attention, sir, you might want to take a look at this." And he pulls up, what is basically a tablet, in the 90s.
Yeah, take it. Take a look.
And you can actually finger swipe. It's high enough technology that you would find nowadays. So,
all right, cool.
Kind of fancy.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a picture of. It doesn't say where exactly it's at, but it's a picture of some of the, in essence, the co-belligerents here within Argentina, and they have a modified uniform. It is a Argentinian flag with the swastika in the middle.
That is no bueno.
Pleasant.
He says some of our boys had just spotted some of the defenders wearing this. We think the government's probably going to not fold, but the announcement will likely be made soon.
By what you're hearing so far in the comms, which way do you think it will go? Do you think they'd be willing to surrender, or will this be more entrenched of a battle?
Oh, they are absolutely entrenched, sir. There's no way they're going to surrender. But we're doing our best to deny them. We lack air supremacy, but we are currently batting them away and he kind of takes the tablet and flips. We're looking at about a 10-to-1 ratio right now of our kills to theirs.
Understood. If you hear any information with regard to Jackhammer Alpha Team, please let me know.
Roger that. And so they, he goes back to, directing at this point. Some of the soldiers are doing relief efforts. There's probably at least 100 people here in this area, most of them civilian. And what they're doing is they're just going around, taking some rounds every so often to pass out snacks and whatnot, so that they have. I mean, obviously they can't feed everybody.
Yeah.
The food just isn't there, but they can at least try and get them something from the concession stands on the inside that they raided to provide them something while they're waiting for an airlift to get out.
Is there
I
anybody?
grab a Chips Ahoy.
Okay.
Is there anybody injured?
Famous Amos cookies.
Thankfully, no. There doesn't seem to be anybody that's injured or whatnot, but they're obviously, I mean, some of them look like they stepped out of a third world country, even though this really isn't. Which, is a good indication that, the government probably focused highly on those areas that were more advanced and clean when the media rolled around, as opposed to the troubled areas, which there probably were a lot more of them. Mm-hmm. But the people that are here are also under guard, because they're not playing around. There could be, spies in the group or saboteurs of some kind. And then you end up hearing another one of those shockwaves going through the air, but it's much further out.
Gotcha.
So at this time, he starts to make ranger pudding. Just for anyone who doesn't know what this is, anyone watching him sees him take the packet of cocoa, take the coffee, the sugar, the salt, the pepper, and he just starts all putting it in there. Then he takes some of the bottled water he has. I am assuming there's water.
There is, yeah. Bottled.
And he starts mixing it up. Everything left over in it, outside of maybe whatever the actual snack was, like if it was M&Ms or whatever, he mixes into the thing, and he starts walking around to everyone on the team who is organic. And he says, have a few bites of this. It'll help keep your strength up.
I'm afraid.
And he'll take a couple bites to show that it's safe to eat.
You put everything in there but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, that doesn't prove anything if you're eating it.
It's a lot of calories. And since we should leave the food for the civilians, this is a way of getting those calories that we all need.
I guess I'll try a bite.
By the way, no joke, it's actually quite tasty.
But you put pepper in there.
Mm-hmm.
You put in everything.
And you put salt.
Yep. Flavor enhancer.
Your interesting culinary concoction makes me grateful that I do not eat that.
I wish I had your problem.
Your average MRE contains 3,000 calories in it. That's enough for anyone to survive a day. Thereabouts.
My Chips Ahoy tastes
Now,
better.
Take one of these, and you're supposed to survive an entire week off of it, besides what you can scavenge. You find ways to make do. This is a way of not taking food away from the people who need it.
Okay.
Hyperion, how are you doing on your charge?
I have no problem with that.
Ixion, do you have any type of food requirements that we have to satisfy? We don't know how much longer we're going to be out of here.
What I need, I absorb.
Okay. Then you two, you can have the rest of this. There's about 1,000 calories in here between it. So if y'all split it evenly, that's about 500 calories a piece, and we don't have to take food away from the people whose country we inadvertently evaded.
Such a buzzkill. Fine.
I hate it
And
when
with
you
your endurance, Derek, you're actually going to be fine for sustenance for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we had said that I just basically, I mean, nutrients are just almost absorbed through my body.
Yeah, but I mean, your
Yeah.
your endurance is as such that you don't even eat on the scale that your people would normally or will absorb.
Right.
Like, you could go, respectively speaking, you could probably go a week and a half without actually absorbing something if you weren't pressed for issues.
Nice.
I wonder if I could charge your batteries if it ever came down to needing. We should figure out if that's doable.
Charging me? You mean?
Yes. Yes.
I do not possess batteries.
Yeah, but if you're low,
I don't see a way that I would be low. I am powered by a 0-point transducer, which uses the quantum fields of the universe to actually provide an energy gradient that I can sustain myself with. As long as I am within the universe, I should have power.
Okay.
Thank you for your care, however.
And then in your
Appreciate the
head, Hyperion, you hear Königsberg to Jackhammer Alpha. What's your whiskey?
in my head, then I say, Jackhammer Alpha is ready.
What's your location?
Yep. So then, So then, you hear Königsberg. Roger that. There is enemy armor coming in from your west, and they're making double time. We need you to strike. We need you to strike and put them down as quickly as possible. If they get anywhere near, oops, hold on 1 second. Some of you guys are looking at the map. If they get anywhere near Plaza de los Aviatores, or in English, Aviator Square, they're going to be in range to start shelling LZ-1.
Understood. Do we know how many units are en route?
We do not, but we detect, or spotters indicate, it is possibly a column.
You said Plaza Arenales?
Is this in everyone's head or just Hyperion's?
It's in Hyperion's.
Plaza de Aviatores.
Oh, Aviators. I'm trying to find it.
And in fact, when you see that plaza, that's what got struck. They also indicate we have confirmed rumors that they are using their enemy artillery and armor. It has been positioning themselves in highly concentrated areas of civilians to protect themselves from retribution. Be forewarned that wherever you find them, they may have already taken a path directly through a route where there may be civilians on site.
Understood. We'll watch for civilians. Would I know offhand, like a column and like an armor column, like about how large of a threat that is? Like how many tanks or whatever? Does that?
If it's a whole column, you're probably talking like 10 to 20 armored vehicles, including what they're towing.
Right. Okay.
So that's super dangerous if it gets in position.
Yeah. Okay.
Technically, it's anywhere between 6 to 300 vehicles. Technically.
Okay.
A column just refers to anything driving single file.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So a column of tanks can literally be 300 tanks, but that's unlikely.
Right. Okay.
But this is just out of character, by the way. Out of character.
You are told, however, that it is possible that they have the TAM VCA self-propelled artillery, and it is highly likely that vehicles in this column are towing the 105 howitzer.
Right.
So it's 105 millimeter. Big gun.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Understood. We'll work on destroying and keeping casualties of civilians to 0. Will there be any air support?
Working on that. That's what the denial strikes were about. If it is available, you will be alerted, but don't expect it as of this point.
Understood. We'll work on this now. All right. And so then out loud so everyone can hear. Cyanide has informed us that there is a column of armor and tanks headed this way from the west. We need to strike immediately. They're carrying large artillery weapons. We need to prevent them from reaching the Plaza de Aviadores. If they
How
reach
big
it,
did he say the artillery piece was?
they are towing 105 howitzers and TAM VCA self-propelled artillery.
That's no good.
Do they want
And
to
Justin, if you want to
recover?
look those up and provide actual specs on those, that's something you would literally know.
Do they want to recover the tanks, or can we disable them?
They request we disable them.
You know, I have had a lot of searches on my computer. I'm going to pass on that.
Just tell them you're an author.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think my FBI agent is going to accept that as an answer again. The VTAMs are bad news. The 105 is 105 millimeters. That is not good for anyone involved. We are not looking at minimum civilian casualties. We are looking at definite civilian casualties.
Maybe Hyperion should lecture them about human fragility.
Perhaps I should, but another day, obviously.
All right. Which way are they coming from?
From the west, we need to stop them immediately. They are taking routes that may lead them through civilian territory, so we must be careful with our strikes.
Did y'all finish this pudding? He looks at the girls.
Well, they're
Yes.
nodding.
Okay.
All right. Everybody climb on. Let's go.
They're
Yeah,
pulling.
they're
He's pulling a
flat.
crocodile Dundee. You could live off it, but it tastes like.
You're not gonna like drop us again, right?
No. I'm going to drop, once we get towards the back of the column, I'm going to drop you guys off and y'all are going to move forward. I'm going to go to the front of the column and I'm going to start melting shit.
Should I cloak us while we fly?
Yes.
If possible, yes. That will make it difficult to target us, even though we will make sound.
Should
Your
we-
clones keep up with my speeds while I'm in flying?
If you need me to create photonic copies, yes, they can travel at nearly any speed.
Good. Keep one ahead of us. Put one off to the east and off to the west. Even though they said that you said specifically a column, right?
Correct.
So we want to make sure that their intel is good. Put one to the west, one to the north, one to the south. That way we can make sure there's no outliers or strugglers out there.
Excellent idea. Are we all ready?
Sadly, we do not want to kill these people, even though this is, I would say, is a time of war and it is very acceptable to do so. Let's avoid military casualties if we can. If you can melt anything through heat, melt the tank turrets to their bodies. They won't be able to move. It will make them more difficult to fire.
What about the barrels?
If you can bend the barrels up, bend them down, you can crimp them and just put a crimp in it. and they will not fire their main cannons.
Okay.
If you can take out their treads, you will stop them. One big problem with tanks is if you destroy their treads, they cannot move, and their targeting systems are going to be haywire. If they're using manual targeting, then we've got a long discussion, but that's something completely different.
Understood. Let's head out.
He holds out his arms.
We'll load up.
Up, up, and away.
Do I need to roll for illusion?
Not right now, no. You're not under any duress.
Okay. Except for that pudding.
Per Angler's suggestion, Hyperion makes photonic copies ahead, to the left of us, to the right of us, as we're flying a decent distance away and in the air. That way we can cover all that area and make sure it is just the one column.
Okay, so you guys are going to take an aerial recon to try and see if you can... Well, obviously you have to try and see if you can spot it first. So why doesn't everybody give me, with the exception of who is flying, because he's got to focus on flying.
Carmen has a reroll.
Give me intuition checks.
Cool, thank you.
Oh, Charmin?
Yeah, I misspelled it. That's my bad.
That's a crappy nickname.
Don't squeeze the Charmin.
Mine's a 55.
Okay.
Yeah, no. 26.
Got
55 on a monstrous.
I'm going to use a reroll. No, wait, this is not that important. I will not use a reroll.
Okay.
I'm used to being in the ocean or something similar, not up in the air. I'm not really paying too much
78
attention.
on EX20, so I got a yellow result.
Okay. And what'd you get, Shelly?
55.
And your intuition is what?
Monstrous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That,
Did you see that gnat that
makes
just
it
flew
yellow.
past us? Yeah.
Okay, so Shelly, as shown, so you guys are flying around. You end up seeing what appears to be a lot of, I don't want to say, not thick smoke, but like possibly trucks or whatnot, actually going through two roads in the city, heading in parallel to one another. Heading in the direction that you were expecting them to come, from the west towards the east.
You can point it out to everyone. Right down there.
Yonder.
Does it look like they are heading the column, or they're by themselves?
Well, they're in between buildings right now. You're gonna have to basically scoot down a little bit further to investigate. Or if you want to stay further out, you can send down one of your photonic clones.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do first.
Okay, sounds good. Why don't you go ahead and give me an intuition check as you basically drop one like a bomb. Flown away.
All right, 48 EX20 gives me a green result.
Okay, so that's enough. You get it roughly in the as you're flying over the city at this point. You get it roughly into the area, and you're able to kneel down from like on top of a house as they're passing by. You end up seeing. You end up seeing the call, basically one, because you only see the one initially, and it's going down De La Tradición.
Okay.
And it looks like it just passed up Enrique Loretta.
I found one column.
Number of vehicles.
It looks like you've spotted 7.
7 vehicles so far.
You guys ready to execute?
Ready.
And how?
Roger, Roger.
Ixion,
Yes.
and he starts dropping.
From how high up?
Dipping?
He's going like this.
Wee.
He'll level out once he gets closer to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But he is making sure they can see him for as little time as possible. And he is going to come out of the sun if he can.
Okay, so you're going to cut it close. Give me an agility check.
We're still cloaked.
Yes.
Yeah. Trust. I am going to definitely be spending 50 on this one.
Okay.
I got a 51.
No! I got a 76 plus 50.
Okay, there we go.
So, like a World War II aircraft pilot, you're kind of like, I'm in the sun, and just kind of dipping down, out from the horizon and flying in, over these city streets. Basically, where you're coming in at, if you're looking at the map, is actually a rural area. There's trees, homes, everything. They're basically just marching this armored column right down, a civilian street, not even the highway. And you come flying in and you start dropping people off. Are you dropping them on top of the column or in front?
Off to the side so they can choose their own way in.
Define off to the side.
About 20 feet to the north of each vehicle.
Okay, so you're dropping them in either in trees, in yards, or on top of the building, or on top of the homes.
Wherever they happen to let go.
Okay, so we're going to start. So, yeah, it's going to be a little clumsy, but we're going to need agility check. So, starting with Shelly, give me an agility check.
If I die, I'm coming back to haunt you.
Not like it's going to be terribly difficult.
You are not the
for
first
her.
person with that death threat to me.
33. And that is an unearthly.
So you got a green.
Yeah,
I think she's probably fine.
That's at least a green. So you're first dropped off. You are obviously visible at this point. You come dropping down right into someone's lawn, and the momentum of the drop, you end up skipping over someone's big wheel.
She's silently cursing you.
Next up is Carmen. Agility check. You can use acrobatics with this.
60. And let's see. Incredible. Almost yellow.
So same thing. The momentum's really the only thing that's the most that would be the most difficult out of this. So as you hit, you kind of roll and tumble, and go like right past, someone's doghouse in their front yard. No dog, but there's a doghouse. Ixion.
I would like to take cover.
Yeah, I'm not falling. I'm ice sliding, but I still have to roll for that because I still have 3 good rolls that I need to make. So I'm not impacting on this one. Come on. Woo! 72, which puts that with my good. I am solidly in the green.
Okay.
So, and that's where I'm at. So I'm marking off another green. I need 2 more green results.
So you let go and you start, ice starts to form and you slide down into the street in front. Hyperion.
Okay.
Agility check.
Yeah. I'm going to spend 30 karma on that.
Okay.
Okay. 78 plus 30. So, yeah, red result then.
So that is a red result. Look at it. He's going to do a superhero landing.
Horrible on the knees.
Yeah, horrible on the knees. So same thing. You kind of hit. You roll a little bit, onto the ground and come up right right by somebody's, fence, their front yard as well. You're all reasonably within, I would say 5 to 10 yards of one another, along this street as the vehicles are, coming up.
And he charges the howitzer himself.
Okay. So at this point, go ahead and give me a fighting check as you rocket forward.
That is going to be a 63.
Okay. So
and I have, let me pull it back up. Okay, come on, reload. It's a good 10. A 63 is still going to be green.
Green gold.
Okay, this is weird.
And let me get your sheet pulled up here real quick. Oops.
For some reason, the thing wanted to go away. And martial arts A and D do not affect this because there is no tank fighting.
That is correct.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Oddly specific.
Weird.
Form. Discipline.
Yeah. You're like, I specialize in ninjutsu versus howitzers.
Wow.
Okay,
Hey,
so
you've got to learn how to fight the heavy metal one way or another, my dude.
So he goes rocketing forward, trying to pick up speed, and slams into, it would be the lead vehicle. It wouldn't be a howitzer. If you'd have to fly back up and like strike down if you're gonna pick a howitzer. But or are you picking the lead vehicle?
The lead vehicle,
Okay,
the one that's pulling it.
Well, no, the howitzer is self-propelled.
Oh, okay.
So you're at this point striking a Jeep that has a howitzer attached to it.
Yeah.
So you see him go flying into this Jeep. He goes flying off, and splitting one of the nearby trees into splinters. That Jeep looks like it, mysteriously ran into, a wall at like 50 miles per hour, just like it smashes the front of that Jeep. The howitzer it was towing, jackknifes up into the air and slams down, onto the top of it. As two of the men that were driving, only one managed to jump out in time. The other one is smashed against the steering wheel right now. As the column comes to an immediate stop, as the lead vehicle, gets brought to a stop, and we are now in combat. They are, letting out alarms, that they're under attack, and whatnot. So at this point, I need all of you to roll a D10.
7.
6.
1 second.
1.
4.
All right.
That's one way to initiate combat.
Exactly.
That'll be a 1.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I
High
got
roller.
a 0.
Okay, Justin, what'd you get?
7.
Okay. And Shelly, you got a 1?
Yeah, I got a botch.
Yeah. Dale?
Also 1.
Oh. Derek?
6.
Okay. And Brittany?
4.
4.
4.
Okay, so thankfully, your rocket shield is still up, so you didn't really take any damage. You just got knocked for a loop. As you connected with that vehicle like a pinball, and a loud crash, and you can hear the sounds of people screaming, nearby. Is clearly there's a fight breaking out. So Justin, it looks like by the time you recover, you're going to be acting at the same time that they're going to be acting. So you have the option to press the attack, or you can attempt to, use your action to, shield civilians or whatnot.
He's going back in.
Pressing the attack?
He's pressing the attack.
Okay. So at this point, the one of the tanks that is in the area, the gunner at the top is letting loose on some gunfire. Let's see. The gunfire is being sprayed across and will possibly hit Hyperion and Lightbringer. So I need you guys to give me some sort of evasive if you would like.
I would like.
Or if you're just that buff enough, you just take it and smile.
Just gonna take it and smile.
I would like to re-roll.
Okay. Probably
Like
a good
Superman,
idea
it hits
because
him
it
in
is
his
a
eye.
50 cal.
Also, does my danger sense help me here?
Yes, it does. It would bump your agility up by a column shift.
Okay. 43. I'm gonna add 2 column shifts to my agility from remarkable to amazing.
Oh, 2.
Amazing 43. That's green.
Okay. So your Lightbringer sense is tingling, and you just instinctively duck. And that you had the big wheel, I think, didn't you? Or that was Shelly.
Me.
Okay.
She had the doghouse.
Oh, the doghouse. That's right.
At the doghouse.
So you instinctively kind of hit the ground and roll, and that doghouse is no more. Those rounds like spray across and hit that doghouse, and it just splinters up into all kinds of shrapnel pieces of wood. Hyperion, you said you're going to take it with a smile?
Yeah.
Okay. Collectively, you have an RM30, right?
Let's see here.
For protection?
Since I've got my physical resistance and GD10 and our legacy armor, it also provides GD10, or does it provide EX20?
GD. It's GD.
GD. Okay. Then if this is a physical attack, it should be a total of EX20.
EX20. Okay. It is a physical strike. Let's see.
It's a bullet.
So they do hit. 1 second. I need to take a look real quick and see roughly what that round would do. I'm pretty sure you're safe. Here we go. Oh, that's cost. That's not what I need. That's dumb. I was like, yay, I found it. And it's like, nope, that's ammo.
How many pesos do you have right now?
Right.
Or whatever they use in Argentina.
Okay. So it is going to cause you a whopping 10 points of damage. The rounds hit strong enough that it tears through just a touch. Not even tearing through your collective armor per se, but it punches inward enough that most of the impact that you're struck with is what does the damage.
Got it. Okay.
It is pesos.
And that was his action to open, or that was their initial action up. There'll be more later. Justin, you were pressing the attack. Where you attacking? You've got the option. There are 2 howitzers. There are 2 light tanks. One of which is the one that already started opening fire on you with the gunner on top. And there is an APC here where men are starting to jump out.
I'm going for howitzer number 2.
Okay.
And I'm going to pop them with a
just
nice
a mobile howitzer, right? Not a towed one, because there's a difference.
if one is jackknifed and basically not upright, the second one's going to have a similar experience.
Okay, so the next one you're attacking is a mobile howitzer, so it's a self-propelled.
That's the next one going down then.
Okay, that's the TAM howitzer at that point. Okay, go ahead and roll.
That's going to be an 80.
Ooh.
Woohoo.
Okay, so you rocket yourself. It's not like it can dodge. Slam right into the side of that howitzer. It's made of sterner stuff than that Jeep. You definitely disable the track on one side, but all you really do is cause it to slide. You know, a little bit, so it's like kind of up against one of the curbs. And in fact,
strong one.
Okay. And I'm looking at your shield. It provides RM30 for your rocket, correct? Yes.
Yeah, I'm RM30 on my rocket.
Okay.
Every time we play, Elton John goes in my head.
Rocket Man.
So that's a yellow result for me, by the way.
That's fine. You understand you struck a several-ton vehicle, not just a small little Jeep, right?
Yes, and I can lift several tons.
Yes. No, I know. So
It's not
what
a CJ7.
So what they end up doing as you strike them, you can hear them in Spanish, probably shouting that you're a deviant, or superpowered or something, and cursing. So they just turn the turret
Call the police.
just a little and fire.
Insert duh here.
So that explosion, while not wise, has effectively ruined the rolling howitzer. It has, however, caused, and I need you to give me a roll for your endurance. It has struck Angler for 50 points of damage, 30 of which has been absorbed by your shielding.
73 on a remarkable.
Green, maybe.
That's going to be a yellow result.
Yep.
Nice.
Keep in mind that your water freedom comes into play here.
Does it?
Yes. Because you have two it has like 2 column shifts to your strength and endurance. Like 2 or 3. Let me take a look at it real quick.
Yeah, I thought it was just strength.
No. Pretty sure it's not. There we go. Yeah, 2 column shifts to strength and endurance.
Okay, so that is going to put me at 73. It's going to put me in amazing. Still yellow.
So you are fine. You basically pull a Superman where you get knocked a couple blocks away and rattled, but not unconscious. So that explodes, like an explosion goes off in the street.
Do I still take the full 50?
Well, you take 50 minus 30 for your the shield from your rocket. Remember, rocket provides shielding for you.
Okay, so 30 total.
No, 20.
20.
Oh,
You take 20 damage.
I math wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you would like to take 30, you're welcome to.
He wants to go back in the tank.
Right.
Yeah.
And now your uniform provides you 20 against physical. Or
10.
no, 10 against physical. So you will take a total of 10 points of damage off of that.
Oh, I thought you were already including the super
No.
suit.
Nope. No Frozone. I am not including the super suit.
Well, thank goodness for that.
However, you are knocked out of combat for a couple blocks. So, I mean, that explosion goes off and you see him go flying. So that is the top of the round. And so now we're at
Me.
Derek.
Yes. So, okay, the big guns just got taken out.
One of them.
The other one's jackknifed.
The other one's jackknifed. It may not be. Is it unusable right now?
Yes.
Basically, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but they could flip it over and still take it. But
yes, the portable one could still possibly be an issue. There are 2 mobile ones. One of the mobile ones is definitely out of commission.
Okay. You
Keep
said
in mind,
there
you
were
guys are fighting right here in the middle of the street in a neighborhood.
The guys that are you said there's guys getting out of a vehicle or
An
starting
APC,
to get out of
yes.
a vehicle. Okay, how are they still in the vehicle? Are they in the actions of getting out?
No, they're actually already out at this point. Their
Okay.
action was to disperse.
Okay, how many of them is there?
There are 8 total.
8 total. Oh boy. Is there any
4 on either side?
Is there any civilians in the immediate area that are
You don't
visible?
see them, but you can hear them. There are definitely some inside houses.
Okay. No. Yes. Let's see. I am going to. So the guys are just getting out of the vehicles. Do they are they armed?
Yep.
Blatantly armed. Okay, so yeah. Let's just put a wall up. I'm gonna try to encompass them, like kind of put like a half wall around them, so that way it gives them a large obstacle, or at least kind of shielding civilians.
So
to where
define how you're putting up this wall. Are you putting it up between the houses and yards and the soldiers? Are you putting it up in front of the APC where the soldiers are coming out of?
Actually, you know what? I want to try to put it in. I want to put it around the whole thing.
So you're going to try and encompass them in
Yes.
a circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
because
ahead
and make it as.
Go ahead and give me an agility check.
Okay. I'm going to spend 50.
Oh wow! Okay.
We are not playing around tonight.
Okay, that puts me at 105. So
okay,
yeah.
That's good. And your power result for that is what again?
It is for shaping or generation, because I've got shaping is 10.
Okay. So it's not super thick.
Generation is 20. But
it's not. Yeah, it's not super thick. But you have effectively put up an ice wall around this, so they cannot see what you guys are doing currently.
Which I know would actually, even though if they were to shoot through it, maybe it might not stop a bullet, but it would slow it down to where it would be less lethal. And if it was going through a wall, then it would probably not be lethal at that point. So.
It definitely provides a measure of protection.
Right.
Okay, so they are encircled at this point. Next up is Britt. Britt, what you doing?
Okay, so you said there were only 2 howitzers?
Yes.
And they are both disabled now?
Well, no, there are 2 mobile howitzers. Keep in mind there's a difference between the 2. Mobile howitzers look like tanks. And if you look in the Discord chat, I posted links up to the difference of them. The lead vehicle, which was a Jeep, had the towed howitzer. That one's the one that jackknifed and flipped up on top of the Jeep.
So that means there's just one left.
There's one howitzer left. It is one of the mobile ones. There are, however, 2 light tanks a part of this column, one of which has already started opening fire on you guys from the gunner at top.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't follow all of that.
That's okay. That's why I'm repeating.
Okay,
and I provided links so you could see what they look like.
And I didn't find those, but the one that's firing, I would like to get to cover and use my my UV emission.
Okay.
And just try and disable the Words.
Mechanisms?
Disable the
like-
words. It does have words written on the side, so if you want to deface it, you definitely can.
The thing that's firing.
The gunnery emplacement? too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. the
so
gun.
you're gonna zap the guy who's on top firing the 50 cal.
Well, I want to not the guy, but like the mechanism.
Like the gun itself?
Okay.
Yes.
That so if you take a look at it, if you take a look at what it is you're shooting, probably not something you can do. Given what you have, or for your power rank, anyways. More feasible attacks if you're attempting to disable the vehicle or whatnot. Mobile howitzers and tanks both use treads. That is far easier a weakness to disable than attempting to break through its armor.
But what? So Justin said something about like melting the top so that it can't rotate or anything.
That would be a precision strike. That is definitely something you could certainly try.
Okay, because disabling the treads.
Granted, Angler was going with his own power set in mind, where he can just plasma bolt things into and basically weld them together. Sorry.
Okay, I'll try for the treads.
Okay. So go ahead and roll an agility check.
53 on remarkable.
I was going to say, you have a decent agility, so that's probably going to hit.
It's green.
That is green. It's got to be green, okay? And your power rank for your UV?
Incredible.
Oh, sorry, it's higher than I thought it was. Yeah, so you shoot that, so you end up blasting the tread on one of the sides, and it just, like you just see it like melt at the first sight of your laser beam, and the tread just kind of rolls off of it. Nice shooting, Tex.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Now, which one did
just as
take
just
out?
as a reminder, the primary objective here was to keep them from getting where they're at. If they can't repair the treads, then this thing is dead in the water.
Right.
So even if you can't like blow it up or you disable the turret or whatnot, you've kept it from its primary objective, which is getting close enough to shell that landing zone.
Right.
That's what it was trying to do.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's true.
we're disabling these things. That we don't have to like totally annihilate them.
Yeah,
right?
if you have the opportunity to outright take them out, by all means, go for it. But keeping them from getting close is your primary objective.
Okay.
Okay, so that was Britt. We are down to Dale and Shelley.
All right.
So which one did Lightbringer take out?
Lightbringer took it out. Well, she didn't take it out, but she has disabled the treading on the other mobile turret or the other mobile howitzer.
Houses. So we just have the two smaller tanks then.
The two light tanks and the APC, yes.
Okay. I want to generate and strike one of the light tank's treads with a lightning bolt.
Okay. That's also an agility check.
37 on an unearthly.
So that is a hit. And your power rank for the power rank for your
Amazing.
okay, so oof. So big sparks go flying off the side of that tank. They'll still be able to retaliate, but yeah, that like pieces of metal go flying off of that tread from that one as well. Dale.
Okay. So then so now because of that we have one APC and one light tank.
Yes, the APC is actually encased in ice, but really that's not going to hold it.
Right. Okay.
That's just
but
just a transport unit, right? Like a
Yeah.
Like a okay.
Yeah.
Are there guns on that one?
No, there's no guns on that one.
I am going to go up to the other tank and see if I can like kind of lift it so that it's on its side, so it can't move anymore.
So which tank? The other light tank that
Yeah,
is
the one that
mobile?
hasn't been dealt with yet.
Okay. So you go racing up to try and lift it. So it cannot dodge. So give me a strength check.
What's its dexterity?
Honestly, this type of game would give it that type of rating. I would probably say since it's a tank, it's probably like feeble or typical. I mean,
Nice. 88
it's a tank.
I think that's a hit.
on an incredible. Yeah, that's close to red, but still yellow.
Okay, so the tank. Hold on one second. And you have what's your strength again?
Incredible.
Okay, incredible maxes out at 10 tons, and you got a what for rating?
Rolled an 88, so got a yellow result.
Okay. This tank is way heavier than you anticipated.
Okay.
So you're all lifting it up, and you're like slowly starting to edge it up, but you are not flipping it like you had initially thought.
Okay.
It is about 7 tons outside your range.
Okay. If once I see that the weight's too much for that, I'd probably abandon that and work, get myself ready for doing something
Rip
else.
the treads
So
off.
top of the round at this point, we are back to Justin. You have been knocked out of range. At this point, back a little bit.
I'm on my way back.
On your way back. Are you just doing a charge attack again?
I'm not going to charge like straight into another vehicle, but I want to get into a place where I can start throwing down plasma bolts.
Okay. From where you're at, if you reposition yourself, you can fire. You're not that far away.
Okay. I'm going to fling a plasma bolt at the tank that he's working on.
The one that Hyperion was trying to lift?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an agility check.
Come on, agility. No. 23.
Oh.
Do I have a reroll left?
Well, if you don't keep track of it, then no. Because remember, I'm not keeping track of them.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Forgot.
No, that's okay. So you are at distance and firing. Hyperion, odd or even?
Odd.
Okay.
It's not letting me claim points on the
Owie.
Discord feed.
All right. So you
Not
end up
Discord,
getting hit
Ooh.
with
David Jones just redeemed a hero reroll.
woohoo. So you
Reroll
end up
for
getting,
Angler.
So you end up getting hit for 50 points of plasma damage. Hyperion.
Can I reroll that?
No, you cannot.
Too late.
Too late.
It is too late.
Arr.
Okay.
But you got to reroll. Write it down.
Okay. So then the armor, it can deal with heat and cold and energy. So it looks like that would take 10 points away.
Yes, it would take 10
Thank
points
you,
off
Davey.
that.
Okay. All right. Take 40 points. Ouch.
So that hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So you were in the process of repositioning and trying to lift that up, and a bolt of plasma gets struck right into your back, and you can feel your back, searing at this point, and your armor buckling from the, from the plasma energy burning, across your torso. The gunner that was on top of there just points the gun down and just opens up on you.
Okay.
Can I pass along the reroll to him just in case he needs it?
No.
How many rerolls can we buy a night? It's on cooldown.
Why
I
am I
could get
cooldown? I didn't spend anything.
I could give him one.
I have. Do I have one? Yeah, I do have one reroll that Davy Jones gave me a few games ago.
Okay.
But if I
Is
need
it is the cooldown per person or is it per chat?
I don't remember offhand. I'd have to take a look, and I'm right in the middle of a scene.
It must be chat because I can't do it either.
Yeah, that's so weird. Okay.
Okay. Am I
I'm
able
sorry.
to?
I do know there's a time limit of 30 minutes. I do remember putting that in there, so it may refresh here in a bit. Okay, so what'd you get for your dodge?
2 minutes and 40
yeah.
seconds.
Is anybody having problems claiming their points?
That's
It
what
said
we were
claim
just
failed.
talking about.
Yeah, but I can't claim. It says claim failed. Try again later.
Oh,
Every
that
time
I
I've
don't.
hit it.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I haven't
That's
had
a long running Twitch problem.
Is it?
Yeah, if you have too many build stacks of claims, it won't let you claim any of them until you refresh, and then it won't be until the next cycle.
It wouldn't let me do it until, or like the first time. But yeah.
So 24 white result.
I'll log back.
Oh, okay. So you get hit for another 30, but this is physical damage.
It's going to turn that into 10.
Your full armor absorbs most of that.
Please tell me you're not dead.
No, I'm okay still.
Fantastic.
Definitely hurting.
So the soldiers in the ice have broken through the ice, but they have to do it collectively, so they don't get their action. The other gunner on the light tank that has the treads shredded, the barrel of the tank repositions and fires on Lightbringer. Lightbringer, would you like to dodge?
Yes.
Okay.
There ain't no smiling about it.
You're a superhero. You may want to just smile and take it.
No. Okay, 43 plus 2 column shifts. Shoot, where's... Takes 2 amazing. 43 is screen.
Okay, so just barely. So it hits the explosion.
Well, in the middle of green.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the yard that you were at is largely vaporized from the shell that of the tank that fired. You take effectively 10 points of damage from getting thrown about, but you have armor, so it absorbs it. So you get kind of a thrashing. You'll probably have a bruise or something from getting knocked back up onto like somebody's patio from the explosion, but no actual real damage went through. Shelly, the guy on top of that tank that just fired, is trying to spray you with gunfire.
Oh, I'm dodging.
If you can dodge automatic gunfire, you can dodge a ball.
Thank you, Rip
See,
Torn.
everyone smiles at that.
Wow. That would have made a different scene in that movie.
So I rolled a 99 on an earthly.
Nice.
Yeah, so you are good.
You matrixed that. You're like.
So Gion has a reroll, by the
what
way.
is your agility?
My agility is an unearthly.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you have
crap.
twice the agility of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is able to dodge bullets at an AM50.
Yeah.
I beat Superman.
So you're just like, whoosh, 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 and it just
Superman doesn't care about dodging bullets. He's just like.
He smiles, takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he takes it until you throw the pistol at him, and then he dodges.
Right.
The old it was not Christopher Reeves, it was something Reeves, the original TV Superman.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
like
everybody.
Ting, 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 ting.
Yeah, but then when the bad guy throws the gun at him, he ducks.
He's like,
yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Okay, and then Yeah, at this point, no, actually, they're all kind of tied up at this point. All right. So that was Justin, Burn, and Nate,
Bad
the
guys.
Hyperion. So now we're at Derek.
Yes.
Sorry,
So they've
Hyperion.
So who is it? Is it the gun, the big gun that's the most clear and present danger?
Well, 2 of the tanks are still around, and if the howitzer loads, the remaining howitzer could still fire if it needed to.
Can't you freeze the barrel?
But this is close proximity, so it's not safe for the high-powered weapons like that to do that. So if you get up close, you don't really have anything to fear from that except the automatic gunfire from the soldiers. And Shelly, you got a reroll from Justin.
I thought she might need it with the
Make sure you
gunfire.
mark it down.
I still have one written down here. Reroll. All right. These guys, I'm going to keep them hemmed up because we got 8 guys, and I've kind of occupied all of them, at least temporarily.
Okay, so you're going to try and do it again?
I'm just going to keep, because I mean, now I don't have to focus as much around the whole thing. I can repair what's there, and
so maybe you're basically trying to pin them back in because they've broken down the wall. You're going to try and rebuild it real quick,
right? At least they've broken down pieces of it, right?
No,
and
they've broken it down. They collectively smashed it. So if you want to reform it around them, you can.
Oh, okay. And so like they were like, I was like going around them, and now since they're kind of like knocking it down, they're right there in the general vicinity. I want to make sure, I'm going to do it to where I'm rebuilding it. But if I don't want to say casualty of war, but if there's a involvement in a body part, like a leg, foot, something like that gets encased in ice, then so be it.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that I'm not encasing them, but if I'm like, and their foot's right there, or they reach through with their hand and now they're stuck in the wall, as long as it's not lethal, I'm happy with it.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Okay. I still have 50. I'm going to add the 25 just because.
Okay.
Do you like frostbite? Yeah, I like frostbite.
Bam. Ooh, 82 plus the 25. That makes it over 100.
Okay. So you're doing what they broke it down, but you're rebuilding it right back, in place with chunks of ice and whatnot, keeping them tied up. Okay.
Yep. I still have 25 karma to spend too.
Okay.
You were up on somebody's front patio at this point.
What is
here for the barbecue?
What is my view of the situation? Like, can I see everything?
Yes.
And
given the range of your power, you can, and where the column is at, you can strike really any of the vehicles.
How many, like, the dudes are trying to escape? Is that what I heard?
That was from the APC. They're back in a wall of ice.
Okay, so they're contained for the moment.
Yeah, they're still breaking it down. It's just he's doing a good job of, he's keeping them under ice.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, hey guys, chill.
Okay, I'll try and disable the one that's shooting me again. Just like, I'll try and aim for the shooter.
Okay, so you're going to try and take out the shooter then, this time from the 50 cal. Okay, go ahead.
I'll be back.
Okay.
That's 100.
Oh, dang.
Somebody's getting a lecture.
She specifically said to disable him.
Okay. And this makes sense. You have never been in a wartime situation. You are panicked. They fired a tank at you. So you are the literal version of shell shocked. As so basically what Hyperion, as you turn around to try and reposition yourself at this point, battle sounds like it's going your way despite the pain that's in your back right now, and you see an explosion happen, and had Lightbringer not been faster, like she would have been, there would have been pieces of her everywhere. But like the force of the explosion knocked her back up onto a patio, and just like real quick, ducking down like right on that, not a bench, but kind of like the front walling of a patio and the pillar and whatnot. She's kind of ducked down and does like one of these numbers and points at, or actually it's through your eyes, isn't it? Is that what we said? Or hands? Okay. So she, points her fingers, at the guy on top of that tank who'd been firing the 50 cal. And in the blink of an eye, a third of him is gone. All available karma that you guys have right now that is not banked is gone.
Dang it!
Murder!
However, it has obviously stopped firing.
There went 630.
There went 1,285.
Yeah,
160.
1,200 is what I just had not banked.
Oh, guys! Oh,
It wasn't me who killed someone.
oh, ouch!
I don't know why everyone keeps firing energy blasts at chunky, super thin humans. But,
Because somebody told me that I couldn't hit the gun.
Oh, you clearly hit the gun as well with that hit. But yeah, with that was a bullseye at that point, and with energy, that is.
I mean, what are the odds that I would hit 100?
Yeah,
pretty low. I mean, it is you, and that's no offense. I mean,
okay.
Murphy's Law.
I thought you guys were banking more karma on stuff to improve. I had no idea that you guys had that much left over from.
I have 2,000 banked, but like that's I can't upgrade my thing until we get back to a base.
I have 3,400 banked.
Okay. I don't feel quite.
I got stuff banked, but
I don't feel quite as bad.
To
okay, so you still got some progress that you can make. Okay, good.
Why do you think I bank at the beginning of the game and only leave me about 200 karma points?
Yeah.
Accidental murder is going to happen.
Okay. So, you know what? Give me a psyche check. I mean, you got a strong psyche, but
56.
Okay. And you have an AM50, right?
Psyche, I'm RM.
Oh, I thought it was much better than that. So you have a 50 what?
56.
Okay. So it's a green result. So you're not frozen from what just happened. You're probably hyperventilating, but you haven't like frozen up or lost your faculties or anything.
Shown has.
Shown.
I don't think my first aid is going to help that.
So there's still one tank mobile.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to lightning strike the other one too.
Okay.
40.
Are you attempting to? So you just said
the treads.
Okay.
So 40.
So that is a successful strike, and you said 50. So the tread on that one shatters as well with a spark of electricity flying all over the place. And blue energy kind of rippling up as it happens.
Okay, I'm looking at the feed and I see "Bye Bye Karma" by Davy Jones.
Yeah, we lost our karma.
By what happened?
It wasn't me.
Lightbringer sliced the dude in half.
I rolled 100
with your energy
laser
blast.
beam. Yep. melted him. Took out the gun.
So
Yes.
I
Hyperion.
look at the bright side.
Do the bad guys get to do a psyche check?
No.
Most of them haven't seen it yet. A good portion
He
of
hasn't
the,
fallen back down into the tank cavity yet.
a good portion of the forces are frozen right now and trying to break their way out of ice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So with all that's happened here, are the only enemies we're dealing with are the ones that are like being surrounded in ice right now, or are there others still active?
No, there's still the both tanks are still technically active, including the howitzer. It just can't fire this close. The one of the gunners on top of the tank is obviously gone. The other gunner on top of the tank is still there and is likely going to be shooting on people when he gets the chance. Probably Lightbringer.
I'm going to be going after that guy then to just kind of knock him out.
Okay. Jumping up for fighting.
Yeah. All right.
Rolls 100. It takes off his head.
I punched him. You turned him into salsa.
Better than jelly.
So is this a fighting roll?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've got martial arts and stuff.
Yes, and if you have martial arts B, that adds to it.
Sweet. Yep. All right.
That gives you 1 column shift higher to fighting.
Awesome. Let's see, fighting. So that will make it incredible. Got a 31. Oh, that does it. Green result.
Okay, so you kind of you do this run and take a step up onto the tank and just throw your fist outward for like a Superman punch. Your strength? I am 40,
Incredible.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hadouken.
10 pounds of or 10 tons of pressure to a human skull. So he gets racked and just slides back into the turret.
Okay.
He went limp fast.
Okay.
Top of the round at this point. One of the tanks at this point, the one that just got the guy vaporized, is going to fire on Lightbringer, meaning they're aiming for the house.
Do I have time to intercept the shot?
You are on this action.
Because my plan was is it the tank that I'm nearest to, or is it the other tank?
You're not really near any tank at this point. You aimed range wise, so you're still
I'm gonna
where
intercept
you're at.
the shot.
Okay, so you're gonna fly down and shield.
Yeah.
Okay, agility check.
And no karma to spin.
80.
I was going to say,
Ooh.
however, he does have a reroll if he needed it. Okay,
That is
so
green
Can you
result.
roll 100?
Lightbringer, were you going to dodge?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
I missed the dodge. I missed intercepting it.
I don't
He's
like
gonna
that
wait.
look. 72.
Okay, that's a
with
pretty
two
high
quick
roll, and you've
column
got
shifts.
you're going with an AM50, I think, right now for that. So you leap away from the house and back out towards the street. Right as you see the rocketing form of your brother like dive straight down, not even curving to stop himself to the ground. The shell strikes him dead on. Obviously, it does some damage to the house. Windows are shattered. There's some splintering of wood that comes off as he is knocked into the front door and blows it completely down. You end up taking 50 points of damage from that shell. 30 is absorbed from your rocket shield. The armor that you have absorbs another 10.
That's 10 damage total.
Yes.
Woohoo.
That's how many tank shots I've taken to the chest today.
So yay teamwork. The other gunner is dreaming right now. The one of the you end up seeing like the latch on one of the on the other mobile howitzer flap open, and a guy tries to shoot Hyperion with small arms fire.
That's basically the small tank.
No.
Oh.
The Hauser.
Is that
Dale,
that middle
you
one
like
that
to
you
do?
sent?
Are you gonna take it and smile, or
I'm gonna take it again.
okay? So this one is not a 50 cal. He's actually pulled out a rifle. You take 3 square to the chest, but your multiple redundancies and the uniform that you were provided just goes, and you just see it
Bing,
wad
bing,
up as
bing.
it hits your chest.
I had no idea you guys were so good at absorbing damage.
So we're now, that was their round. So we're at Derek. Or sorry, yeah. The soldiers are still trying to break their way out. They have broken down the ice wall that Derek has put up. Are you going to put the ice wall back up, Derek? Giving him the Three Stooges treatment at this point. Whoop, 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 whoop.
So is there? Well, the first guy that starts to come out, like I'm just gonna ice his hands, and I'm gonna continue, like I'm gonna ice the other guy's hands too. I'll ice as many as I can at the time.
So you're not going to put up the wall. You're attempting, because you've got 4 people on either side. If you're attempting to target anybody, you could only target 4 of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, ice the wall. Ice wall again.
Rebuild the wall.
Rebuild the wall. Here we go. It's going full force right here. Bam.
In other words, trumpet.
79. I think that should be good.
So the wall goes right back up. To sounds
and they're like, son of a.
So sounds of Spanish curse words and groans. So we are back to Dale at this point. Or no, Brittany, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run into the house to check on Freddy.
Okay. Give me an intuition check and add your whatever medical you have. I can't remember what it is offhand.
I have emergency medicine.
There we go. Yep. I knew it was something like that.
And first aid. But I also have the medical scanner.
You're going to take a moment to pull that out right now?
No.
Okay. You're all, ha!
70.
Ooh.
So with, what is that on a reason?
Well, your reason is 1 column shift up right now.
Okay, so it is reason that I would use.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's monstrous.
Oh. So not only is he okay, you are astounded at the fact that he's taken as much as he has, and it looks like, honestly, he's been in a barroom fight.
I'm going to say, how are you alive?
Daddy's genes made me tough.
He'll actually say, good genetics. Just out of curiosity,
I'm gonna
is the shell shattered on me, or is it like all in like one clump as it hit my chest?
No, it shattered all over the place because it hit the rocket energy.
Yeah, that would have been.
Man, I was gonna throw it back at him.
But Brittany, you do see in the house, you do see a mother and a son who are terrified, hunkering down in the kitchen at this point. that had the shell not found you or Justin, well, even if it found you at that point, it would have blown this house to Kingdom Come and taken them out.
Do we get our karma back?
Survey says.
What? Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this rate, we could just go on a murder spree and blame it on the new Prussians. I'm just saying.
We can have
Brittany,
negative karma, right?
if that's
I
what
love
you
your
opt
own
you to
stays
do,
at that.
I will 100% start assigning negative karma. This is not supposed to be the Punisher.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, oh, well, one's
But
dead.
Brittany,
Might as well kill the rest of them.
Since you were there and you've checked him, you have a moment to say something to these people at the end of your turn. If
I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's universal.
I'm gonna gesture to them to like get to the back door.
Perfect. Okay. Why don't you roll your popularity and give it 2 column shifts up?
My public popularity.
Yes.
Okay. That would be excellent. 66.
Okay. They recognize heroes when they see it, and they, without hesitation, start scrambling to the back of the house.
I only have a popularity of like. You didn't give me a score. You just said 19.
Because at the time you did not have a superhero identity.
Oh, but now I do. So what would it be now? Just out of curiosity.
You have a 19.
19 is
just
excellent.
You have a 19 and a 0.
19 is excellent.
So my 19 is not Ixion, it's Xenofreeze, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but Ixion is nothing.
Is 0. Yes.
Right.
When did we last have popularity? Oh, wait.
When we dealt with Cold Chill at the bank.
Yep.
Although I guess locally, Ixion may have some, because remember I went on camera.
You're not local.
I know, but I'm just saying locally I would. But yeah,
You are far from local.
Yeah.
I'm local.
So Dale and Dale and Shelley.
We're number one. Oh,
Okay.
Let's see.
I can't
Can I attempt to fry the systems? Because we still have a howitzer that can still shoot.
Yeah. The howitzer is insanely stronger than the tanks, though, which is why it's not firing. The first one did and basically blew itself up.
Okay.
So there is one howitzer that has somebody on the inside that tried to shoot Dale, and Dale just took it. But not the howitzer gun itself. Like, he pulled out a rifle and fired.
Oh, you're talking about
you have the two tanks,
the
which the 2 tanks can actually fire.
So, could I use
that's
my
the
electricity
TAM.
to
Okay.
fry their system, like their shooting?
You 100% could attempt to do that. Yeah.
Oh,
So what you're doing at this point is you are just in essence. Who did this? There was a. It's like a Street Fighter character or something like that. Basically, they just kind of did this and radiated.
Are you talking about
energy
Blanca?
all over the place? No, not Blanca. But I'm picturing the character just basically doing this and spreading energy all around. Basically, what you're doing is you're standing, near it, and you're sending your electricity all over the place.
I got an 89.
Okay. Dale, give me an endurance check, by the way.
Oh shoot! I forgot he was on top.
Again, it's okay because you guys have not been in a wartime situation, so
Except for me.
right.
The endurance is incredible. Got a 74. Makes me yellow.
Okay.
You're yellow.
All right, so there's this. So at this point, like Shone just stands on either side and just there's this arcing electricity, basically like somebody ran over a pylon at a power plant and just, electricity is just arcing and going everywhere.
It's an arc flash. I'm quite familiar with those.
There's all kinds of stuff going off around the tanks, and the APC and the Jeep. Okay, Dale. Before I get to that, what were you attempting to do?
Let's see here. So there was I had already knocked out the dude that was in this tank.
Oh yeah, you ragdolled him.
Did it seem like there's anybody else within this tank that was like operating
obviously.
it?
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Okay. Then and this tank still has like an actual turret, like an actual like a cannon.
All of them do, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if they just started firing indiscriminately, they could still do damage, but obviously, I mean.
So my goal would have been to go over and bend that barrel like downward to like just kind of
perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not even going to make you roll for that. So basically, you grab a hold of that thing and you can hear some popping sounds in the turret mechanism itself as the barrel just you just like start bending it over, and then you start like Frankenstein getting zapped with the tank and the howitzers, the APC, and then there's just quiet. Dale, you took 50 points of damage.
Wow. Okay, and so
the
let's
suit,
see.
I think, might have defended you from 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then take 50 points of damage. Okay.
Are you still up?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. At 26 points of health.
Thankfully, however, again, like I said, there is a quietness now. There is like it's suddenly very still.
Did I kill everybody?
You're lucky you didn't kill all of us at this point.
I'm behind the line. I wasn't worried about.
So
from where you were at, like your ice just got blown apart from this electricity, and you saw the guys who were trying to like break their way out, start like doing the rattlesnake shake and just getting zapped because they were right next to the APC in water.
Because it was starting to melt, because obviously it's warm, yeah.
I'm a very bad leader, is what I'm figuring out. I'm super bad at this.
The one person you're worried about murder.
Kill everyone?
By the way, you're lucky he didn't decide to see if the munitions go off.
Yeah.
All I want to do
Don't
is
give him ideas.
No, I rolled.
He's like, oh yeah.
You did?
Oh, I rolled, yeah.
Oh shoot!
So, can I go out on the field and try doing?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm going to check these guys that are
first aid checks.
Are we out of combat now?
Well, you can still hear vehicles moving and advancing because remember there were two lines. But if you stay here, you are out of combat.
Can I stabilize anybody?
I'm assuming from the front door where I was at, I saw the arc of electricity.
Oh, you certainly did.
I'm going to howitzers,
you actually
and I am...
saw the houses start to flicker a little bit, just because they're close enough. Like the light bulbs kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot.
they went really bright.
I'm going to go and I'm going to use my plasma powers, and I'm going to bend all of the howitzers into pretzels.
Okay, that's not how plasma works.
I'm using it to heat it up,
but
I can manipulate the...
But you can definitely
you could do that without your plasma.
Yeah.
Or Or I can just slag them. It's one way or another. But I'm making all 3 of these howitzers incapable of ever firing again. Well, sorry, I only have to worry about 2.
And the tanks?
The tanks I'm less worried about because we still have a second column to deal with.
Okay, so right now you're just worried. So yeah, so then
It's
you take a
manipulating.
moment right now. And that's fine. So right now, what you're doing is you end up seeing clearly with a sense of purpose. You see your brother Angler just start focusing his plasma on like one artillery piece at a time, and he's purposely trying to superheat it up. You two are checking vital signs. Derek and Brittany, give me some reason checks as you start checking vital signs.
Can I use my
83.
medicine to help?
29. I would like to re-roll.
Okay. Shelley, do you have medicine?
I have
84.
for my talents. I have
Okay.
it says medicine.
Go ahead, roll. Yeah.
I don't, but I have animal biology, and you guys are animals to me.
Technically.
So I got
Yeah.
a 42 on an amazing.
And biology, genetics, and alien studies. So yeah, I know.
Oh, I
basic
saw the
stuff.
electricity. I'm not worried about any of the soldiers at this point.
Dale, what are you doing?
Let's see. I would be, just to make this faster, I would be helping Angler with like bending barrels into like worthlessness and that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
so he's taking care of the howitzers, so then you're going to take care of the other tank then and disable it. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so those of you who are taking vital signs, most of them are unconscious. There is a driver, actually the driver and I forget what the guy they call who fires the tank, the gunner.
gunner.
Both of those in each tank are done. They're dead.
Whoops.
Okay, I think if I recall correctly, I can stabilize.
If they're just unconscious, they're just unconscious. Let's take
Yeah.
their weapons and go.
Yeah, because we have another column to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're waiting.
If Hyperion
Are you guys
just revive it.
deciding what you're doing, or are you heading out?
I said I'm taking their weapons.
Let's
Well,
go.
I know that, but other than that, is everybody like leaving, or because it looked like there was a still like you guys were trying to decide what you were going to do here?
Okay.
No, and I'm like let's take their weapons and give them to. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, give them to this locals if that's the case. I don't care.
We don't need more people with guns running around doing
No.
stupid stuff and getting themselves killed. Stack them all up over here. And he'll help them collect the rest of the guns once he's done with the barrels.
Yeah.
Are you gonna melt them?
I'm going to melt them into a big pile of slag after removing the magazines and the round in the chamber.
Do you
Because
have time for all that?
No. Slagging them outright? Yeah, you could definitely do.
Okay.
he slags the firearms. He's like, all right, let's go.
All right.
Grab on.
Right.
Everybody gets a good look at your brother Hyperion at this point, and he is in bad shape. He's two kinds of burnt and shot.
Yeah.
Does first aid work on him too?
No. But great question.
So
can I help him with my nanotech with my basic understanding of nanotechnology now?
No.
Like at least
Which way's the
helping him
column?
out a little
Let me
bit.
scout it out.
However, Brittany, you have which one do you have? The hyper invention?
No, I just have hyper intelligence.
Hyper intelligence you could use to try and analyze him.
I have weapon engineering and energy and particle psych.
Nope.
I get a +1 column shift when creating a robot. I mean, would that account, especially with his? No. Would that help with his guidance to say, hey, help do this or do this?
Nope.
But he's still conscious, though.
He's still conscious. Yes.
Yeah.
He just can't take another hit.
What can I do to help you?
Okay, Wait,
He'll-
my hyper intelligence, that's just a reason check,
So
right?
at this point, you guys are waiting for your brother Angler to go scout while you analyze Hyperion.
64.
That'll work.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Amazing.
I'm going to have them point out which direction the other column was, and he's going to fly over.
Okay, so you're off taking care of that. Hyper
Ooh, that's
intelligence.
yellow. That's
He
yellow.
is flying above the tank's effective range.
Well, tanks can't shoot in the air like that, anyways.
You've never played Battlefield, have you?
No, that's a video
Put me
game.
on a hill and I'll take down a jet.
That's a video game. And that requires stupid players to not know that the tank is there and firing in that line of sight. So I'll take care of that in a second. Hyper intelligence. So this is the first time you've actually looked over what makes Hyperion. What, basically the nitty gritty. With your hyper intelligence, as you basically quickly analyze him, you don't have like writing utensils or anything of that nature, like right in front of you, but you mentally start getting a good workup of what probably went into making his frame. And in knowing that, if you guys, this is going to sound really, really janky, if you guys go raid somebody's house or a couple houses while he's scouting, you may be able to find some parts to
Duct tape and
attach to
bubblegum?
him, to try and heal him.
We need baling wire, duct tape, and bubblegum.
Okay.
All you need is a fridge. Wrap them up in a fridge and we can go.
A fridge?
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Right.
Okay, just verifying that is what you said.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Freddy's off. This
I'm
is
gonna
Justin
run
making a
off.
stupid joke.
I'm gonna run off and look for something.
Okay.
Would I be able, in a pinch, would I be able to encapsulate you?
You mean with your ice?
No, with myself. I would effectively be a layer of armor for you.
Uh-oh.
So you would just wrap yourself around him.
He's about to become Mecha Ixion.
Transformer.
It's more Ixion.
You could, however, that would simply mean that one of us is still out of combat. In the next encounter, I will need to act as a distraction and as reconnaissance for you, rather than be in the fight.
I'll try
I won't
not
be able to
fry
take
you.
another hit.
If I were protecting you, I could still allow you your senses. You could utilize your
Copies.
clones, quite possibly, and I am still able to move around.
If you're surrounding me, I would need to be the one who transports you. If you are
True.
acting as my armor. However, if you aren't, you still have full autonomy and can do what you need to do in the battlefield. I do not have to be in the thick of things at this point.
Okay,
Worst case scenario, I will stay near you
while they are
in the
chatting,
event that you need additional.
Brittany, you run inside somebody's
All
house, and this is what your mind has. Basically, you already know that there's no technology in civilian life in Argentina that's going to bring him all the way up to snuff. It's not going to happen. But mentally speaking, you're going over to like, okay, almost in a hyper invention sort of way. You're like, okay, but if I had this and if I had that and if I had this, I could probably do this. And you're like kind of going over in your head like what you would. So basically what you end up doing is you get a hold of one of their old TVs and you just start gutting it. You start like ripping the stuff out, for like the parts and circuit boards, vacuum tubes, like anything that anything you could find that you can piece together. And then you end up running over to this particular house you went into, it's got like had like a big stereo system, and you start yanking pieces out of that. And then as you guys are debating, like, can I encompass you, or can I do this? Can I be like your brother Shell or whatever? And
with our forces combined,
poor Shone is just like, probably close to like ugly cry at this point. She's almost killed her brother, in that.
Well, he said not to kill anybody else.
You end up seeing Lightbringer come running back out of the house with her uniform kind of bowed out a little bit, and a one of those like aprons to kind of like just hold a bunch of parts and whatnot, with like his super hopeful look. And she's clanking it, as she comes running back towards you guys.
Hyperion becomes the $6 man.
Peso.
Shelley, yeah, I was going to say, Shelley, get it right. Peso.
God, that's even cheaper.
He's like, me llamo es 6 pesos.
Whenever he runs, it's not that no. It's that it's like, like mariachi music, like na.
Yeah.
He comes to a stop. Olé!
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Okay, so
Joan, help me.
You have a soldering iron with you.
Of course I do.
I can help. I could probably do a little. I mean, I would venture to guess that I could do a little bit.
Well, at this point, I mean, you see what she's brought out, Hyperion.
Yeah.
If you guys want to partner up and attempt to hyper-invention this.
Yeah, I mean, might as well.
Okay, so
do this.
go ahead and hyper invention, and you are one column shift up because of Carmen's ingenuity and
I can use my finger for electricity and
scrapping.
Cool. All right, that makes it effectively amazing. Ugh, gross. Only 26. That
no karma to add to that? Sorry.
Very funny, Jerome. Very funny.
Did you have a reroll?
I did. Oh, you know what? 26 just barely makes it green. So I got it.
Oh, wow.
Out of 50?
Yeah.
Sure enough. Wow. Okay. So at this point, between the little soldering iron that she was able to find, and the two of you kind of like putting it together, it's taking you guys some time at this point, but you are repairing Hyperion with third world tech.
Sweet.
I will get back to you guys in a second. So Angler, give me an intuition check as you are high in the sky looking for that other column.
And
that's going to be 53 on a remarkable, so green.
Soap operas.
Okay.
Okay, stop! You're killing me.
All of a sudden, Hyperion develops the weakness to telenovas.
He starts quoting Bumblebee Man.
I think I need to rejoin. I just lost Dale.
Okay, yeah, so jump back in.
There he
My
is.
sides hurt.
Yeah, he's like,
ay.
Ole.
Adios mío.
Yeah, exactly. Like when Buzz Lightyear gets his switch flipped
Exactly.
in like the third one.
Yeah.
Goes to Spanish mode.
Everything is in Spanish at that point.
Can I clearly see how many vehicles are in the column?
There's another 7 in this column. It's basically the same makeup. However, because you guys got into that conflict, they are much further ahead than you anticipated. When that fighting started happening at that point, looks like they possibly reassigned how the column was positioned, and if anything is in their way, they're just running it right over.
Bomb the road.
I'm going to amp sleep them.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Okay. Boy, this got good fast. Okay.
Even with 20 points for using the pearl each time, I still have health to spare if I put them all to sleep.
Right. I understand. Go ahead and make your roll. Psyche check.
That's going to be a 92.
Woo-hoo.
Nice.
So you're flying up there, and tactically you just make the decision. You realize that if you circle back around, you can probably get the rest of your family to jump on these guys, but they are probably going to be in range to start firing. So you're just like, okay, forget it. I'm bringing the heavy gun.
Didn't matter. This was my plan from the beginning.
And so you do you're just like focus for a second, and through the power of that pearl, you can feel like their minds just snap that second, and then like eventually like the vehicles just start sliding off to one side or coming to a stop. Like one of them rolls over a car, and just kind of comes to a stop. And as you black out.
Oh, I black out?
Yes.
Even with the 92?
Yes.
Okay.
So those of you who are back and working on Hyperion, you have collectively repaired 35 points of damage.
Okay.
And I hate to pile onto this,
Morocco.
but you kind of have the you kind of look like Johnny Five in Short Circuit too.
Awesome.
Los Lobos kick your ass.
Balls into outer space.
No, you look like Johnny Five after he got hooked up by the gang members.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's just got like random accessories and parts like coming off of him. But I mean, you feel better clearly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's you've pieced them together in the right fashion that you haven't lost the mobility like you thought you would. It's just don't get in water at this point.
Right.
You have no idea or get shocked.
Too bad she doesn't have a camera.
Mm-hmm.
But as you guys finish up, you realize you haven't heard from Angler in a bit.
Angler.
It's been a good 5 minutes, and he hasn't reported in.
Hyperion to Angler. Do you read? And mentally, Signet. Do you read?
Affirmative. Signet is here.
Are you able to track Angler's status at all?
Hold. We have confirmation on Angler's position. He is roughly 3 miles east of your position. I am picking up high amounts of arcane particles, however. Did the Argentine military have magic on them?
No. I believe I understand what happened. Thank you. We'll be en route.
Who has a communicator that I can have? I will be faster with my ice slide.
I did take 40 points of damage, right?
What's that? Oh, I haven't given that to you yet.
Okay.
Hyperion hands Ixion his communicator.
Okay.
Basically, just like boop. And I take off in that direction.
Okay. So,
but I still have to roll.
Yeah,
I still have to roll for my ice slide.
Yeah, no, you have a relative understanding of where he's at because you understand that the column was basically operating
I'm
on
looking
two
for the
streets
column, yeah.
on the same block. So if you go one block over and then start hustling, you'll probably catch up.
there-
Looking at good, I rolled a 61. I made it into the second square of
Okay.
green, so I'm good.
So you're.
Okay.
Are there any still like functional, not destroyed cars parked nearby?
There are, yes.
All right. Let's hotwire a car.
Precisely. We need to do this quickly. It seems that he may have used his power. I'm not
so
sure if he's still conscious.
As you're talking about that, the woman and her son peek up outside because it's been quiet now for a little bit, like out here, and she's like looking around as you guys are looking around for cars, and kind of starting to check to see if anything looks in operation, and she jingles her keys.
Thank you,
And
miss.
since you speak Spanish, she says, do you need a car?
You're wearing her TV.
Yes, if we could use it. Thank you.
She
want to leave this area.
She just runs out and hands you, her keys.
Does anybody have cash?
Everyone
Cash
should
I was
have
carrying
cash.
has probably been melted, so probably not.
I probably have cash. I'll hand her some cash. Just whatever. I'll just grab something in my pocket and give it to her for the TV.
Okay.
I tell her in Spanish, of course, see what she can do to make her way to, and I give her directions as far as like where the evacuation landing site is for civilians to leave.
Okay, right. So basically, you give her the stadium name.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Bring your neighbors.
And she,
Yeah, exactly.
you can relate since you're the only one that understands Spanish, but she tells us she'll try, and she's gonna try and get everybody who she can out of here as quickly as possible.
Excellent. Thank you, miss. So then head to her car, have everyone pile in, and take off in Angler's direction.
Okay. You're first on scene, Derek.
Okay.
All of the vehicles have just been brought to a stop. Like they just either they kind of like just stopped in the street, or like at one point, like you see a tank kind of just it rolled and stopped on top of a car.
The car kind of stopped, rammed into him behind him, almost like they just kind of like coasted to a stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so you quickly search around, obviously it's quiet. There's nothing going on. You can
Right.
see some people like peeking out, like, from their windows and whatnot. And you end up seeing like somebody like doing this, like to you, like pointing. And when you look in the direction of where they're pointing, you see a crumpled body on top of a car where the roof is caved in.
Probably, obviously, now that I see it's Angler.
Yeah, well, you recognize the uniform. Yeah.
Go up and try to get. Okay, I found Angler. I'm communicating that. Going to check his vitals.
You see that there's some smoldering coming off the one arm where he has the pearl, which I believe it was still that way. If you put it on his chest, we can explain. Where did you have the pearl position again, Justin? Was it on your arm again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's in suit, so it's the.
That's what I thought. So the arm piece, cool. So right around where the arm piece is at, his arm is actually like withered. It's almost like he stuck it in a blast furnace. And it's still kind of smoldering. He's just like, completely out, crumpled, in the
If
top
it's
of the car.
smoldering, then it's getting chilled.
Iced?
Not iced. I can do cold generation. It's not just like brain.
Okay.
Like I'm lowering the temperature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Go
I
ahead
need to
and
roll? Okay.
Well, you don't have cold manipulation. You have cold shaping and cold generation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you need a red result for this.
I need a red result.
Yes, because this is a power stunt.
Oh, okay. Can I? Knowing that, can I start over then? And I want to use my 25 points that I had.
Well, you need Actually, you don't have 25 points. Remember?
No, you lost your karma.
Everybody
Because we
lost
all
all the
lost
karma.
it, yeah.
You could always generate a circle of.
Oh, that's inclusive of what we.
You only have what you banked.
Yep.
Oh,
And
so
then
I lost that 25. That was.
You
Oh,
could also
Yeah.
like make a
I
circle.
lost
of,
630.
I lost like 1,300.
So basically,
no, 20.
here's the issue that you're looking at. So you operate at sub-zero temperatures with your ice generation.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing, because the way to define it at this point, because you're really taxed from everything that's happening, you don't have the focus right now to make the power stunt. So if you attempted to do it and botched, you're gonna.
I could freeze or
put
burn his arm
on top of the smoldering that's happening. So the best bet right now for you is just to find something to wrap it in, which would not be a problem to find.
Then I do this, and then lay it on top.
So you ice
generate the ice.
You basically
and
ice
then
shape like a
ice packet.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
There you
fair.
go.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's not. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
You can absolutely do
Okay.
that. So it's
And now I'm checking his
inconvenient,
vital.
but it's cooling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then eventually you see, a car come pulling up. You don't recognize, but
checking his vitals, but
you
were
see
his vitals there.
Why don't you give me an endurance roll, Justin?
Oh.
Endurance.
Endurance.
Okay.
You are out of water, so it's still at AM50.
82.
Okay, so vital signs, they're not the best, but doesn't appear to be dying.
It's a yellow result.
Yeah.
I'm rolling hot on all the right things tonight, except for maybe killing myself. By the way, how many hit points did I lose from that? Not yet.
We'll worry about that later.
That many.
Yeah. You're just not dead.
I relay the information saying he seems stable. He's not dying, but his arm was smoldering, and that's why it is on ice right now.
What happened to him?
I believe he used his pearl.
Do we know about the pearl?
We know about the pearl, but we don't know everything about the pearl.
He used his magical power.
We know of the pearl, but we
that's
don't
about
know
it. You just know that the pearl is apparently what drives his sleep ability.
Since we're right there and looking at him, do we see like the smoldering and whatnot around like the pearl gauntlet that he's
It's starting to go, not around the pearl itself, but around his arm. Yeah,
right.
His arm looks like he jammed it into a blast furnace.
Okay. Hyperion is going to try to like detach that arm bracer that he's got to pull that off, so that there's like, a way to actually heal it more with our.
So
here.
you go to pull it off, and you can hear flesh pulling up.
I stop immediately, put it back. And can I tell that this is the thing that's containing the pearl?
The bracer? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you look at his costume pic, it's very obvious. He has like that arm Van Brandt sort of thing, and the pearl inset into it.
Okay. Got it. So then Hyperion goes, with the injury he sustained here, it's as if the pearl itself has did this damage to him. Is he using his pearl for magical powers? The Psi network indicated that they detected arcane particles, a massive amount at this location, meaning he used his sleep ability, which seems to be why.
Henceforth, the reasoning of all these individuals.
Correct. We need to get him.
Sean, you and I, let's go comb the vehicles and remove all hand weaponry. If they wake up, we do not want them armed as minimally as possible.
Hyperion, can you take care of the cannons?
Yes.
I can ice the cannons temporarily.
But that's not a permanent.
If Hyperion is dealing with.
Yeah, bending the barrels at this point would be your best option, and it would be faster and more assured, despite the fact that it would take him some time to bend it.
Okay.
Lightbringer, can you use the medical scanner on Angler to see exactly what's happening to him?
Of course. I
So
will.
I'm
So,
gathering.
so we'll gather their weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are doing that, and honestly, as you're starting to do that, you see some people coming out of their houses, like looking around, as to what's going on, and when they see that you're starting to like basically chuck weapons, out of like one of the vehicles, like they start joining in, they start going in to help disarm some of the people that were there, and some of them are obviously absconding with the weapons, but they're helping to disarm.
Like I make a motion to like
Tie him up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I
Tie them
mean,
up.
you do that, and some other people kind of get the hint, and they start trying to find something to help. tie
Hyperion
people
could
up.
always tell him to grab rope.
I'm waiting for him
He's
to-
preoccupied right now. We're probably a little ways away from him now.
So you are scanning him. Go ahead and roll, Carmen.
53. And that, do I use my emergency medicine or just
Yes.
the? Okay, so that is. Wait, really? Wait. Okay, so is that a reason?
It is
Plus
a reason
it's a
check.
column
Yes.
check. Okay, then it becomes unearthly 53.
Okay, hang on a
Is he
second. So
yellow?
your reason is what?
Succession.
My reason is amazing,
Okay.
plus a column shift for the scanner,
Oh, right. And then you're
plus
yeah.
a column
Oof.
shift for emergency.
So you're
medicine.
yellow.
Yep. gives
Yeah.
you yellow.
Okay. So the scanner is going through. So basically, what it's happening is scanner is not as smart as you, bluntly put. So it's providing you information, and you're correlating that with your own intellect, based upon your medical knowledge, with 90% certainty, based on what you're seeing. Clearly, he's had some sort of massive burn trauma to his arm, going all the way up to his elbow. He is suffering from a concussion, likely from the fall. So he probably hit his head somehow as he came down. He has a minor fracture in his rib cage. It doesn't appear to be pushing against anything harmful. It's just he's going to have to get something to heal for that, and possibly try and take it easy, but you guys are in a war. And he has vital signs that are starting to fall.
Okay, so with the first aid talent, I should be able to. It says it grants the character an immediate halt to endurance rate loss.
Yep. Go ahead and without the medical scanner bump, roll your reason check with first aid.
First aid it doesn't say anything about a column shift.
Any
Right.
talent
Just
provides a +1 column shift to
Okay,
the
so
appropriate
that's
stat.
assumed.
That's pretty much what it's for. Yeah.
Okay. In addition, the hero with the talent can stabilize a dying character at shift 0 health up to 5 rounds after the character reaches that level.
Yep.
57.
Okay.
So that would be monstrous.
Yep. So that is clearly high enough.
Green.
You take the small medical pack that you have, that you carry with you in your costume, patch him up as best as you can, and cover the obvious wounds, and provide him a bit of anesthetic that you have on you, and what vital signs you see that he has, they're stable.
Okay.
But he needs to be placed he needs a medical
the tank.
facility.
Need to put him back on the ship in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you guys are starting to take care of this, you hear Königsberg to Jackhammer Alpha. What's your whiskey?
Both columns have been rendered inoperable. There are going to be civilians headed to the extraction point. We've sustained wound casualties. Angler needs medical attention immediately, and I need repairs.
They're asking for our location though, specifically. Out of character knowledge.
Yes.
And I go ahead and provide that.
Whiskey. What's your whiskey is
Whereabouts.
Whereabouts.
Location.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Sean's looking at her little cheat sheet.
Wouldn't they be able to tell that already? Because they did triangulated.
I do. Do I have a track? Do I have a tracker?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't have a tracker on my uniform.
No. No, you don't.
Okay.
So then you end up hearing Roger that. Exfil next block over. We'll be there in 5.
Understood. On our way. And I relay that to the team.
They're only the next block over. Interesting.
No, it means
Well-
you're sending something to extract you the next block over.
We'll need to carry him.
I go ahead
Do
and
they
pick 'em up.
do they wish to confiscate these weapons and equipment? What weapons were not
The goal was to
confiscated?
disable,
Yeah,
destroy
and-
the weapons if you're able.
Yeah, and this point, the people are yanking.
They've
stuff
armed
from
themselves with the hand
yeah.
weaponry, but we've disabled and
Yes.
effectively destroyed the large weaponry.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With that, as the civilians are gathering things, then in Spanish, Hyperion, again tells him, like he told the other lady a few blocks over, where to head for being able to leave the area, like the exfil landing
Extraction
zone.
point.
Extraction, yeah.
Okay. And so I mean, they wave. Some people they're probably not going to go, but if they have people that need to leave, I'm sure they'll spread the word. But you guys basically book it through the side of somebody's house, and quickly just get over. As you can see, one of those VTOL aircraft coming down as the propellers are going back in an upright position. They're coming down. The door slides open, and a gunner is is covering you guys as you come running. Come running up.
Yep. Get on in.
You guys load up, and they end up flying back. They end up flying you back. It's a little bumpy. There's still a lot of enemy aircraft flying about. A4 Skyhawks specifically, tearing through the skies. So they're kind of keeping it low and flying at a high rate of speed back towards the Königsberg. You get back without, thankfully, much more exertion or anything. Angler is still out. However, you hear him groan occasionally, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
And you touch down, on the deck of the Königsberg, and a medical team, comes running out, and Lieutenant Sagan's with them, and she's about ready to say something. She's like, "Good Lord, Hyperion, what the hell happened to you?"
He looks up and goes, "Don't ask." And then he just continues on to wherever the medical facility place is.
We had to swing by
Field
out of character.
dressing.
We had to swing by the Argentinian Radio Shack.
Field dressing.
And so she motions, the medics to come over and pick up Angler, and again take him to the the med bay on the ship. And you end up seeing another member that's down there, probably from the science police, but you don't recognize the person. They just happen to be in the med bay as they're looking as they're starting to look him over. And they look to whoever is there. Or did you all follow him in, or did you? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the guy turns and looks, and he says, "Okay, so who authorized the untrained spellcaster?"
Authorizing an untrained spellcaster?
I think he's trained in it.
And he's like looking around and he points to the guy's arm and he says, "Clearly not." He says, "I've seen enough arcane trauma in my time to know that this guy is not attuned." Don't ask me how. I know that's going to be your next question.
Do you know of somebody that can help him?
We don't have anybody on staff for that sort of thing. All I can tell you is this man is lucky to be alive. If you're whatever it is that he has, apparently is pretty potent. And if you don't have it, if you don't have that magic attuned or however it needs to be, it's sucking your life force. He's lucky. You're lucky you didn't bring back a corpse.
Now we know. He wasn't willing to tell us all of the information.
I wonder why.
Granted, he didn't know it was he didn't know he had to be attuned to it or anything like that either.
We do know one magical individual. I'm not sure if we can get direct contact to her, and it's not as if she'd be able to come here readily. Can you do anything to help him for now?
We can try and stabilize him. I don't know if he's going to be able to heal from that wound, but we're going to have to put him out and probably put him in a coma temporarily to get him the help he needs.
Lightbringer, I would like you to contact... yes, I apologize. Damage. I would like you to contact Mainframe and see if he can route a call either to Blood Goblin, if he's able to locate her whereabouts. If not, then to see if you can contact Ms. McCall to see if she knows an individual who can help who is magically based.
Okay.
I will be in the engineering bay, fixing myself completely. Thank you for your efforts.
Do you want me to help?
No. He just says no, and then he turns, and then just immediately starts walking to the engineering bay.
Okay.
He's pissed at us.
So Sagan watches him. You walk away, and she says, "You are all going to be needed for a debrief." Does he need a timeout or something? I don't know just what happened.
He's not happy with us, so probably.
It didn't go as planned.
Okay. Well, ma'am, then it sounds like you're next up in charge. So do you think you can handle the debrief?
I suppose.
Collectively, I think we can.
She says, "Okay, follow me." And she takes you. You guys have been here before. You're starting to kind of understand, your way around the ship. Takes you back into a ready room where they've got some screens and whatnot. And President Jurgen is still there, observing whatnot. And he turns around and he says, "Well, it looks like you were successful, but what exactly happened?"
We were imprecise and ended up with enemy casualties, and well, it seems that Angler took initiative on the second column before the rest of us caught up, and disabled them, but at the cost of his own health.
Yeah, I've received. Oh, hello, Vancouver Benite. He says, yeah, we received word that there was a high amount of arcane particles in the area. I
can't
was not
really,
aware that you had a spellcaster on your team.
I can't really speak to that. It's not an ability that um, he's spoken openly about.
I see. Well, our medics are going to do what we are obviously going to do what they can. This clearly complicates things for the team. Bravo Zulu won the task, despite the injuries. And he ends up waving his hand and sliding up a map that shows and as he does several check marks show, and he says our orbital strikes have eliminated most of their nearby air bases, putting Brazil at an extreme disadvantage for sending air support. That's going to free up the skies and give us air superiority. In the meantime, since your team has clearly taken a bit of damage, perhaps it would be wise to take the next 10 to 15 hours to reassess and heal or repair as best as possible. We're going to need you for the next task, in whatever shape that your team happens to be in.
Yes, sir.
And he also points to the map, and he says, we have managed to locate the United States Embassy, which it is thankfully near the international airport within Buenos Aires. Our forces so far have been able to cordon off that particular section of the city all the way to the airport. And as he shows you on the map, and if you look on a map, of that area, he says it's not much. We've also determined that the Argentine, although they haven't made an official proclamation as of this point, the Argentine government has been subsumed by the Nazi element within inside it. Their uniformed soldiers and officers are now parading it around in the streets. We have seen vehicles with their markers on there. I suppose this was already going to be an eventuality. We just simply pushed the timetable up.
With the second what's the word out of character? What's the word I'm looking for? The second cavalcade that was coming through that column that was coming through, the local citizenry, because we had higher priorities, it seems that they have collected all of the ammunition and hand weaponry. The larger units and tanks have been disabled. However, they are now armed, for good or ill. That may come into play.
And it perhaps will. Armed militias will likely start clashing out, but we can't worry about that as of this point in time.
Absolutely.
And to also keep you abreast of what's currently happening in the world political stage, the United States and the United Kingdom are now sending some of their naval vessels around to start attempting to alleviate some of their citizenry and obviously get them off of the Falkland Islands. But this can't happen until we have air superiority. Our concern is that with Brazil losing the capability of sending airstrikes to assist with the buckling Argentine Air Force, they're going to start harassing the naval ships once they get close to their waters. It's imperative we find a way to stop this as quickly as possible. So we are going to need your team up and running in the next 15 hours if possible. So in the meantime, take that time to rest and relax, and we will give you your mission specs when that time comes.
Xenofreeze encountered during his capture. He was set free by some
woman
member of the organization that
I remember you mentioning this. We have long suspected there's been some sort of a mole high up within their operation, but as of this point, no one has been able to make any sort of contact. So we don't know if that's if they have been captured, they are dead, or because of the communications blackout, they're simply prevented from doing so. We suspect there's going to be a lot of changes when air superiority happens, and we can now start harassing their ground units with our close air support.
Okay.
Did you have any other questions?
I'd like to make contact with some people back home and see if we can get a resource for Angler and his injury.
Of course, I heard that might be as much, and if we can assist, we will. However, you had a delivery while you were gone. I was unaware that you were accepting such things on my ship, and he kind of looks at you sternly with a bit of a smirk.
I didn't order anything.
He says it's in the bay. You'll know it when you see it.
in the bay.
Below levels.
Your ship?
Yes.
I mean, his ship?
Like the cargo bay or like the Bay of Argentina or whatever? Like the water?
No, he meant the bay of the ship that you're in.
They delivered me a boat?
Yes. They delivered you a boat. And Domino's brought it here 30 minutes or less, damn it.
This is the first Amazon delivery.
From the
It
Amazon.
came via the Amazon.
From the Amazon,
Yes.
yeah. That's how they got their name, really. You know,
Yes.
Perfect.
we are the co-founders of Amazon. Just saying.
Reality.
Yeah. In this reality, Bezos can kiss my you know what.
So,
yeah.
As you were doing that, so you guys are finishing up your debrief. Dale, as you were going back down, below decks to the machine shop where they're, which is of course under the below deck flight deck as well, where they work on some of the vessels. You end up seeing Ixion's ship.
I was right.
And so
Fascinating.
Ixion,
That's not my delivery.
Ixion to Hyperion.
I gave you my communicator. You can't reach me.
That's right, huh?
That's correct. So
You gave me yours. Yeah.
so as you are as you're walking along, you see Blackwing down there, and he's
our buddy.
and he looks at you and he's just like, "Is that a vacuum tube?"
Bad day at work. I'm sure you understand.
He says, "So I'm hearing. We've got something that might help."
Do tell, please.
So he motions you to follow along, and he says, "It's experimental, but I've been authorized to give this to you on the off chance that you're going to need it. In essence, it's like an exoskeleton."
Okay.
He says it should give you an additional layer of armor, enhance your strength and endurance, and if nothing else, probably keep you upright a little bit longer.
Is it shockproof?
Interesting.
It's coated with rubber.
Yeah.
How many of
Apparently,
these
I'm
are
covered with
available?
blue because I
The
stuck
one-
to that ground.
He says the other ones are currently out in the field. This one's been held aside for you.
Understood. Thank you. I will still need to repair myself. The ship in the docking bay. Do you know when it arrived here?
Yeah, it got here about an hour ago, but we're under the impression that you had set it to some sort of autopilot.
No. And he starts walking like so that he gets just kind of like a better view of like this magnificent thing that flies through space. He's just kind of in awe looking at the technology right now.
Yeah,
Incredible.
it's bulbous yet slender form. In very metallic, almost white colors and whatnot. But the hatch is down. I should say that the walkway is down.
Hyperion is going to go ahead and approach the walkway to see if something happens with the ship.
Nope. So I mean, you walk in. There's room for 2 seats. Anybody else is going to have to stand.
So he's walking in. Yeah. So like, is it? Can I tell? Like, just walking into it, then could this transport like the entire team plus people, or would it be cramped or anything like that?
It could transport the whole team, but it will be snug.
Gotcha. So he's just kind of looking around at the gadgets and gizmos and like
it does have what you would expect flight craft of Earth to have. It has a similar setup, but again, using your intellect and knowing that Ixion clearly is not human and doesn't need to interface with things in that manner. The first thing that you come up with as you're kind of looking over intellectually is that this is probably not a model from his race, and they probably have some sort of special adaptation for him to interface with it.
Okay, interesting. All right. See, after looking around for a few minutes, just kind of being in awe of that, I need to repair myself, take to the team. And he leaves the ship, then walks his way back to the mechanical bay so he can start repairing himself.
Okay. And that is where we're going to stop for the night.
Would I be able to say one thing? Would we pass by him before we got to the bay?
No.
No? Okay. I want to put the bug in his ear anyway. Remind me, I want to ask Hyperion to see if there are critical components that we can take along with us, and i.e., if necessary, I can hold on to them if necessary for spare parts, because it's not going to hinder me necessarily in some cases. Yeah. So
that is where we're going to end for tonight. Our next game for this game will be the 21st. So hopefully we'll have all of you guys here January 21st as we just depending upon how this goes, it may be the end of the season and the end of the war. It may drag on for another game. Depends on how that goes. We'll see. Davy Jones, as always, thanks for stopping by, and anybody who watched as well. Vancouver by night. So our next game coming up is Ashland by Night Blood Ties. That's going to be happening on the 14th.
Yay!
So tune in for that as more craziness is taking place there as well. And then Ashland by Night will be happening on January the 13th at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I thought we had a great game. I had a lot of fun. I was surprised at some of the things that happened. Good stuff. So we'll catch you next time, and I hope you guys have a good night. Good night.
Good night.
I literally